This is a weird song to program to, but I swear to God, this is like, it just has to be background music, okay? I'm pretty sure that this is gonna be a fairly straightforward programming session. We're not gonna leave the just chatting category too, because every time I do, every single fucking time I do, every single motherfucker who shows up and then says, "Hey, oh, hi, nice to see you. Oh, hello. What are you working on?" It's like, buddy, I don't know what to tell you. You're in the programming section. Nobody fucking talks here. Everybody's fucking busy programming. But this is the thing about people who go watch the programming category on Twitch, okay? They're people who want connection. The viewers want connection. The streamer's trying to get shit done, and they always get mad about it. The viewers, the random new viewers, always get fucking mad about it, and it always pisses me off. Wait, I need to put on the auto thing, the audio ducking. And it always bothers me, because, like, why are you getting mad at me, buddy? I'm busy trying to program something here. I gotta get this shit done, okay? There's nothing that I can do. You deal with it. You sit in your chair and you watch, and you shut the fuck up. And when I'm done writing the code, and I'm done reading the documentation, then I'll talk to you. So yeah, that's why we didn't stay inside the just chatting category, because everybody in the programming category is hungry for attention, hungrier for attention than usual chatters. I think usual chatters for other games, they're on. You know what it is? They're on par with VR chat viewers. They're on par with the VR chat viewers as well as the whatchamacallit, the Omori viewers as well as the Undertale probably viewers. Omori and VRChat are the only games where I've heard this phrase of, "Hey, I can come voice act with you. Do you want to go on call?" It's like, buddy, I don't even fucking know you. I don't even know who you are. Even the incest game had regular people. Sure, they were in the incest, but at least they weren't fucking weird socially. You know what I mean? It was so much more simple. So much more simple. Time to be hungry, period. You know what? Just like stuff your face with food and then watch, okay? And then that's when programming streams I think hit their apex. Is when you eat your food and you get your snack and you just watch the dude fail at it's like watching a magician accidentally light themselves actually on fire or accidentally cut themselves through with a real chainsaw, right? That's what these streams are basically. That's what programming streams are. And this screen right here is for you. We lost the Nyan Cat because I don't want to use Emacs anymore. It's just too fucking slow on Windows. But we gain ass. Air fryer. Please stop. I need to I need to turn that off. No more air fryer. No more air fryer. It's going away. What? Limit the milestones the viewers can share in the chat. What? No, you can just put whatever you want. Put it in your home cooker. That is being disabled. I'm gonna keep it though because it's useful. We're gonna do that bit again sometime. You know what? Fuck it. You want features? All right. Fuck it. Here we go. What feature do you want in this plugin? You adore clicking buttons. It is fun. You know, have I ever told you actually there's I think you might like this game. Cuz it came out and I've heard pretty good things about it. Laboratory and you just make balls and you press buttons and you make more and more balls. Look. I don't think I ever sent this. Sorry, I think this was like a live stream thing only, and then I think I forgot to like send it. But you make balls, and then but play the demo first. Yes, get the demo. Yes, hit a ball, earn the money, flip switch, make a ball a hit. It's actually kind of sick. You love balls. I love balls too. I played the demo off stream because I didn't have time for that one a week. Kind of a banger. Kind of a, and every ball has a different effect. But yeah, we need a game that's about pressing buttons. Is there any game? Oh my god! That's the game. Nagi, you're a genius. You're a fucking genius. Look at these titties. Okay, wait. What feature do you want in this plugin? Please describe what feature you would like in the plugin. I will try my best to add it. Otherwise, fuck you. It might be very difficult too. The cost, this thing is gonna go up in cost though, okay? If you want a feature, this is like 2,000 points, yeah? You're not gonna be able to like do it cheap. A button that counts how many times the button has been pushed. It's just a button that just has a number going up. That would be the worst, most useless button in the entire world, but it'd be so good. So good. Okay. No, wait, you're writing that down for your stream. Fine, okay? You do it for your stream, alright? I'm gonna steal your like button thing though, okay? Idle game involving button presses. Where I have to like finish this thing. How many points should it be? Because viewers earn 200 points per hour on average, which is actually like a lot of points, but it's still not enough. So if I set the price at 2,000 points, that's 10 hours worth of watching for one feature. I think that'd be boring. I think we do like everybody gets a one feature per hour. How about that? Every viewer gets one feature per hour of watching the stream. So if today's stream is 4 hours, you get 4 features. And if you have a lot of points banked up, then I'm fucking screwed. Okay, don't use it yet though. Don't use it yet. I have to actually find it where it is. It's in the folder somewhere. It's in the folder somewhere. I have to go to the folder because I built it. I built it and then I had to run it. Ooh. The target? No, it was in where does the build happen? No, it is target. I only built the debug build. I really probably should build the oops, wrong exe. Cannot find. Oh. Yeah, of course you can't find it because it's in the dynamic library mode. Sorry, just to give me a moment. It's in the dynamic library mode. Like, of course you can't find it. Yeah, okay. I had to switch it over. I had to switch the crate over. I probably should have switched the crate over sooner, but I decided to keep the crate as is because I only ever do it via cargo run, which is easier. Sorry, please give me a moment. You'll see it soon. I also then need a new window source then. I need a new window source. So stream UI. Okay, I'll just call it stream UI because that's the shitty name that I have for it now. Window title must match. Capture method bitblit Windows 10. There we go. This bad boy is useful. Error, semaphore, error. What? Error, semaphore. Semaphore must not be currently signaled. Error, index 0 acquired. Validation failed for the semaphore. What? Well, it's fine. It seems to work. So who cares? who cares? It seems to work. Fuck it. If it works, it works. Fuck it. Fuck it. We're doing it live. Fuck it, we're doing it live. Oh, good. Okay, good. I'm now in the multi-language playlist. Perfect. I was wondering when I would get to the multi-language playlist. Also, I need to fix the interactions. Like, I fucked up the interaction pattern. Pressing escape doesn't open it immediately, and I messed it up. Okay, now you can redeem your points. Now you may redeem your points for a feature that you want to have within the application. I re-enabled it, so it should work. If it doesn't work, please let me know. You now get to have a feature that you want within the app, within this plugin that we're going to be building. Wait. Before I do that, though, we have to write down our game idea. Holy fuck, it's so fucking... Wait, I need to fix some bugs in my setup. Sorry, I might need to fix some bugs after. Before we do that, though, we have to do this game, okay? Idle button pressing game. But specifically actual buttons. Idle button pressing game. Fuck. I really probably shouldn't be using this like plugin, but it's fine. Game about pressing buttons and obtaining stuff to get more buttons. Bottoms! I could get more bottoms. Shitty idle game about buttons because they're fun to press like those fidget toys. Okay? Like those fidget toys where the bubble pop, the bubble wrap. Same idea. Okay, good. Same idea. Okay. What we're going to be working on today is not this. We're going to be working on this thing. This bad boy. Okay? Today, what we're going to be working on and the features that you can suggest is a plugin for Obsidian. So I actually need to open Obsidian. Okay, this is a little bit of a problem. It might be a little problematic. Give me a moment. Because I think it's only within this vault. So I do need to hide everything here because none of this should show up. There's a lot of sensitive information, I think, in here. I don't even know. But this used to be the Obsidian board that it used to have for the stream, so it should be okay. If I go to studio mode, I need to do the inspector within one window, too, so you can see everything. That's going to be so annoying. Ah, shit. Obsidian. Oh, God. Oh, okay, maybe I should have planned this out a little bit better. Okay. For Obsidian. Obsidian, as you all know, is an application where you go in and the application allows you to do things like take notes. Very great application to take notes with. The problem is that it kind of sucks for doing other things. The main thing is that you have to create like a whole different note and you traverse a lot of it visually, which is kind of annoying, and you have like a million notes spread across the board with a search that I don't think is necessarily the best thing in the world. Oh god, not this song. I'm gonna go no, no. The interesting thing about like this setup is that even though it's really good for taking notes with, the pain point is that you have to do everything within the confines of, you know, their idea of every note is its own separate thing, which is fine, but also very annoying because like, let's say you wanna like expand on something, you have to make it a separate note. You have to go find that note to figure out what exactly you should be like like to figure out where you should be writing things, and then like that note, the way that you can search across that note is a little frustrating because like you can kind of search across it in like various different ways, but like none are exactly what you kind of want. Whereas like, because like having everything on one screen and splitting your views is much easier to work with than having to open multiple tabs and like match each tab. But that's a personal preference of mine for text notes. Okay, so great wiki feet guessing game. Like GeoGuessr, but for feet. You guess who the feet belong to. I gotta pitch this. Okay, chat. There are some pretty good bangers in this. There's some pretty good bangers here. There's some pretty good bangers in here. Like GeoGuessr, but for your feet. You guess who the feet belong to. Holy shit. So, really kind of painful for certain notes because now if I want to draw a link between this and then this, I have to open them both within two separate tabs. I can't just quickly do it. I have to like, and again, you have to open the tab in a very specific way. Otherwise, it just gets rid of it, right? It just replaces the one here. It's kind of like annoying in that regard for text notes. Where it shines is this new canvas feature, something that we've actually used for various game streams a couple of times, but mainly we use it in the form of the Excalidraw one. So I think we have the Excalidraw one somewhere transferred all of these stream agendas. No, here we go. Like for blueprints, and I got this like worksheet, and I got this like massive worksheet where I've got like everything going on, and like this is the power of Obsidian. Yeah, this is where it shines. Is when you have the canvas and it ladders up into notes that you take for the game. Now you're seeing where I'm going with this. Okay, the same thing that we did with the Obsidian canvas for blueprints. That's what I want to do for whatchamacallit, the instance at the Galley House. The incident at Galley House. Same thing. And this is a beautiful way of doing it because this works so goddamn well. The problem, as you can probably tell just visually, is it is a fucking mess. I don't know why they decided on this as their like main... Okay, that's such a weird song. Can I get like... Thank you. It's like the worst part about this thing is that they decided on a baseline UI that doesn't feel very good because I think they were too busy trying to get the feature out, which makes sense because like the UX is fairly nice and like the UI is very sleek and like fairly nice and also very performant for what it does, with a specification that is fairly easy to understand and a standard that could technically be reused across platforms, right? But in doing so, they neglected a couple of features. The main feature that is useful for things like games, but also in general for things like knowledge pinboards that I think is very important, is the ability to actually view what a connection is for. Because look at this. Like, genuinely look at this. What connections are on this image? You can't tell. By default, you can't tell. There's literally no way for you to like tell what connections are available within this image. There is no feature for you to be able to go and look at that by default. You have to get a separate plugin to check out the connections within the like knowledge graph, which is this thing. But it only supports notes, and if you can probably imagine, when you're using this board, you're not really going to be using notes. You're going to be using things on the board, which is the second problem. The cards are not notes. So there's cards, and you can add media from your vault. These are notes that exist with anything, but cards are not notes. And we often use cards to organize our information. So you don't know where this thing goes. I don't know what connections that this has. Visually, it's a mess because I don't know if this is a connection towards it. You can, but it's easy to disambiguate because it only has one connection. What about this? Do you know what connections this has? These are all images, but these by default don't show up within the graph. And even if they did show up inside the graph, how useful is the graph when it just says the image name, which is pasted image, pasted image? It doesn't show the image itself within the graph. So these connections are effectively worthless, but how do you know where they all go? How do you even select a specific one that you want to the one image that you need to go look at in order to do the thing that you need to do? You can't. It is the worst part of the entire product, and I don't really know why they decide to have the connections be so shitty in the way that they are, because they have everything that they need fundamentally to do the work of actually querying all of this information and getting it to appear. Because the key thing about a connection is that every connection, and I'm going to show you through this side panel here, every single connection, which is contained within this leaf, which is contained within this canvas object on leaf. This is an internal API, but you can open it up. It's just JavaScript. You can go to the edges themselves, and every single edge, which is in a map, there's a shit ton of them, and it's numbered by their number. I don't really know how this thing. I don't know why they decided on the scheme or what the scheme is. I don't really know. I guess they do it in batches of 100 for the capacity size, or maybe that's just how maps work internally. I'm not really sure, but they map it from 1 to whatever. Each one tells you where it's going from, where it's coming from, what node it's coming from, the ID of that node, as well as where it's going to. So you have this information. You know what nodes that this thing belongs to. You know where it's going to go. You know how it's going to get there. All you need to do is display UI that shows a preview of that node somewhere over here when you hover over a node, or when you right click in this context menu, you say, give me a preview of all the connections and where they lead to. And that's all they had to do to make it useful. Because the thing about a visual system like this is that it fails when you get too complicated. And you might say that, oh, you have to split it up even further into smaller ideas, right? But then you run into the same problem. Whether or not it's one large bulk of connections all related to one thing, or it's a series of subcategories, you run into the same problem that at some point you have to keep traveling through this giant line, this hierarchy that's just too confusing for you to go through, or you suffer the problem of there being too many connections to be able to easily disambiguate. It's do you make another umbrella category, or do you go further down and then do you drill down into each one, or do you just have each thing be its own separate thing, right? Sort of a classic UI UX problem where it's too much information is very hard. And some might say this is a misuse of the thing, but I would argue that the truth is any thoroughly complex venture is always going to have this problem. I've worked on even corporate projects that have a level of complexity approaching something like this, and that was the simplest form that we could have made it, because we had to go as simple as we could because we had very limited time, scope, and resources, and it still became a giant mess to even visually document, right? Documentation is one of the hardest things to do of any project, and documentation of knowledge in your mind is complicated. Hell, think of the idea of something even as simple as using the knowledge graph and the knowledge base for something like the idea of mathematics and all the things that it relates to based on what you know of it, right? You could do it naturally with the text notes, but the canvas provides you, I think, a much more interesting visual way of doing it that allows you to actually go through it in a way that I think is more that makes more sense to our human minds than just text. However, because of the connection problem, you end up with these lines going everywhere. Basically, if I use the math and game development as the thing for my knowledge base, right? You would see lines kind of like this where they go all over the place, left and right, and they would even circle back to go backwards even sometimes because they link to another idea, to some other idea that's also very important too. So this is basically the problem with the canvas that I'm trying to solve today, which is we're going to make these connections actually good, okay? Because fuck me, I'm not going to deal with this ever again. I don't want to listen to a single BB No Money on my fucking playlist. There's nothing wrong with him, but I really would just rather not listen to the guy. You know what? We need a new playlist. Okay, I'm going back to my liked music list. Sorry. I realize now that like the whatever the algorithm is doing, it's fucking up hard. It's really fucking up hard. What was it? What was it? What was it? Let's just. Know what? I'm no longer heated. I'm no longer heated. I'm no longer heated. I can go to like something like this. Perfect. I'm no longer heated. Now I feel defeated because the enormity of the thing that I have to build is starting to like settle in. Okay. So yeah, knowledge bases are hard. Canvases are hard, but I think they did bungle the idea a little bit by not doing that one key important feature, which is a preview for your connections and where they go to. So that's what we're going to build, is a preview for your connections and where they go to, so you can easily, at the point where you see a connection, you can see where it goes to. You can quickly jump to one end or the other. Because the thing about an infinite canvas, too, is that some of these connections visually only make sense by laying it out in this way. I have to lay it out like this for it to make sense, right? But in doing so, because it follows like a visual system of like, okay, vertical means it's its own topic, horizontal means it's like a shared topic, right? But in doing so, you end up in a situation where like, okay, what if this thing links to a thing that I've got somewhere else on the board, but they can't be side by side because I have a visual hierarchical system of organizing things, because this is naturally hierarchical data sometimes. Sometimes you end up dealing with hierarchical data, just like in blueprints. And so I'm like, okay, well, fuck, I have to draw this line from the bottom up here all the way to the top up here. It doesn't make any sense. Really, what'd be nice is this set of features. And now we get into the actual meat and bones of this, which is the write down all the features that we probably need. So this is the work in progress code. I was just exploring the API and figuring out what's available as well as what's not available. These are events that are not exposed. I'll get into it. But the key features are this. Key features... Maybe like this, actually. Maybe like, okay, sure. I don't know. Just like, I don't know. Fuck it. Just like make it look cool. I don't know. Fuck it. Fuck it. We're doing it live. Fuck it. Key features to build. There we go. Key features to build. These are the key features to build. Okay? One, a preview of connections to and from a node that allow you to see a small view of the connected nodes and their information, such as where they are in relation to the currently selected node, which is the one that you're viewing the preview of the connections for, with the one that has the connections on. It's kind of a weird way to say it. Where they are in relation to the currently selected node, as well as the data within those nodes, e.g. card contents and so on, like the canvas would normally render, okay? These are very high-level goals, and there's some ways that we can do this, and you can add more features if you want, but if your feature sucks, I will do the project manager thing of like, okay, like your project sucks. And again, you can use the redeem. I think the redeem does work. I think it's like, I don't know, how many points is it? It's like 6... It's enough points that you get one feature per hour. Yeah, so hopefully it like works out. 2, a way to quickly jump to either end of a connection, because right now within the canvas, it's kind of a hassle. Like if you right click on a connection like this, let's say you're viewing the board and you see this connection that is like spanning some massive gap and is going through a million different things, right? Where does this go? You can follow the connection one way. And then the other way. Wait, actually, this is built in. Wait, did they add this? Maybe they, like, fixed this. Maybe they fixed it. I mean, ideally, it would be, like, to go from one end to the other. Like, you wouldn't just go follow connection and then jump away, right? Ideally, you could see, like, what's on either end so you can quickly decide. Because the thing, too... Okay, you know what? That's a good feature. Because the thing about following the connection is that, let's say you want it to stay there. Let's say you're just curious where this goes to see if it was a mistake, right? You don't want to have to follow the connection and then lose your place. Because if you follow the connection and that animation doesn't seem to work all the time, and you're like, where am I? I have no clue. Where was I? Then you're lost, right? Maybe you want to do some visual pruning as well. It'd be nicer to see a preview of where they go on the connection itself. So the same feature. So actually, okay, same as above, but specifically only for a connection. I mean, for a node. Sorry, a preview of edges. It's because these things are internally called edges. Connect. BitConnect! edged nodes. Edge. Why does it say connect over here? Stop. That's like a documentation block. Sorry. Same as above, but specifically only for an edge and the two nodes that it connects to. Because an edge can only connect to two nodes. So same as above, but specifically for an edge and the two nodes that it connects to, laid out visually, such that you see the edged nodes on either edge. On either end. I love edging. I fucking love edging. Okay, so a preview of the thing. What other feature that was I gonna do? There was another major feature that I was gonna do. Oh, yeah, that's the one. 3. When following any preview to its destination, have a temporary CTA. It's call to action. I'll use no abbreviations for all of you. That allows you to go back to where you were visually before the jump. So specifically, for instance, if you jumped in the middle of an edge to one of its end nodes, you could jump back exactly to where you were viewing that edge in space. That's the key. That's the beauty of the system. So that's the other third feature. These 3 features make the canvas significantly easier to use, and everything else is covered by other plugins. And the reason why I'm not going to submit a patch to these other plugins, because every single one seems to be unsupported in some way, and or they just stopped working on it. I'm not really sure, but like it seems like every single one, the maintainer has like a stick up their ass or something, or like they're like, I don't know, like they're busy with life. And I get it. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. If you're busy with life, that's okay. Okay, you're doing this shit for free, but I need this shit now. And so it's like, if you weren't here and I need this shit now, I'm sorry to say it, but I don't want to play with you anymore. Just like that kid in Toy Story, yeah? I'm gonna drop the toy and just make my own shit. All right? That's why we're doing it ourselves. What was the point of this? Oh fuck! Send to the back. Oh my fucking god! I ruined it. Oh my fucking god! Oh wait, no, it's back there. But yeah, that's what we're going to do here. We're going to make these edges actually useful, because right now the edges, I don't know what to do with them. They actually are very useless. Like actually going over this note and trying to examine how I'm going to port my notes over from the instant at Galley House. Because this visual way of like moving through a game is extremely good. But even like a visual way to move through projects is like very nice too. It fucking sucks because the edges are the worst part of the entire ecosystem. And you might say, oh, all you need to do is follow the connections to like go around. But then you run into the same problem as the text notes. The reason why you move to a visual system is to work around the visual problem of the text notes, where you have to keep all the information in your fucking head. So you don't have to do that now, and you can just go ahead and see everything visually all within one screen or within slices of your screen, and you can move things around to make it make more sense within like a temporary moment. But all of that goes out the window if you just say follow the connections with no visual preview, because then you had to remember, where was I? Where did I go? Okay, then I went over here. So in relation to that, where it was before was this. And then all the while having to keep in mind all of the information. Sometimes having things be visually together allows you to build a better picture of what's going on. Like this tells me everything that I need to know about this one level and my idea of what I was thinking about as I traverse through this world trying to understand what all of this was, right? Compared to everything else, you know what I mean? Even this like book, it's like it helps me understand exactly what I was thinking about per page, yeah? So that's what we're going to do. To do this though, it's a little bit fuzzy how to do this. So I learned some things. One, Obsidian has this really cool thing. I probably need a browser source too. Just give me a second. I need a browser source. Obsidian has this really weird thing where they have for the music player, put this thing, Obsidian typings. So Obsidian has like an official API that is exposed for plugins. And they have documentation on plugins to some degree that you can use. Obsidian official typings. Official Obsidian TypeScript. Developer documentation. Here we go. This is the one. Okay, here we go. Found it. So they have. I need to. Sorry, just give me a second. Maybe I should. No, I have to keep that. So we'll do this. A doc browser. Do not open the TikTok porn tab. That would be funny though. Though I would be banned instantly. Okay, here we go. This bad boy is the official documentation for what is Obsidian. Okay, so this is the official documentation for Obsidian, and this is all the information that you need to build a plugin. That is to say, it is fucking nothing. This is one of the weirdest documentations I've ever seen, where it's primarily based around their whatchamacallit, what's the thing called? It's primarily based around the like forum and the Discord and stuff where you go and you ask questions. And one specific typing library that they use within their sample repository. So building your first plugin, you can go and you create a new repository off of the sample repository. You then go through, it tells you about the workflow, it tells you about the anatomy of a plugin, and then it says, okay, that's it, enjoy your time. And then it talks about a whole bunch of other things, which is like, you know, stuff about like the UI and stuff, right? It doesn't really go into how you interact with everything that you are going to deal with within a plugin, which is like the nodes themselves and like the data that's within them. Maybe like a handful of them do, but for the most part, it's mostly about creating a lot of new bits of UI. And that's about it. And then you get into things like modifying the editor itself. So let's say you want to build a custom editor for something, and that's really what it is about. And like events and stuff. Other than that, you go to the reference, there's CSS, there's like stuff there's stuff for styling, there's like theming, and then there's a bunch of TypeScript types, which doesn't really have any relation to any real concept, because like what is a workspace really? You don't really know until you read everything, but even then, other things like what is a connection called? Because the editor uses the word connection. It's called an edge, and then how do you get a canvas? Well, you can't. Well, those things are answered by their TypeScript typings, somewhat. So this is the sample repository. You go in here, this is your thing. Mega Man! Emile Bangma. I want to make the world a better place with my code. Holy shit, Mega Man. That's what I'm talking about. Mr. Mega Man, thank you. Yeah. Pretty good, okay? Their typings actually aren't the worst thing ever, but their typings have a limit, and that is the public API that they want to expose. The public API that they want to expose is not actually all that useful. So if I need to go to NPM really quick, because I don't know what the fuck they named their package on, why did they take me to NASDAQ market? There we go. Please. I'm a human. You know I'm a human. There's one person working on this? That doesn't seem real. Is there actually only one person working on this, chat? That doesn't seem fucking real. Like really? But yeah, look. So type definitions for the latest Obsidian API, okay? Let's say you want to go and deal with the canvas stuff. Well, how do you get the canvas? It doesn't show up here, ever. Nothing in the main typing shows you the canvas. And the main typing is what is actually published as part of the actual typing package when you go to publish these. When you go to publish this package, those are the types that get published. This file is never published. And even this file and its types is incomplete because they only want to expose to you what is publicly known. Okay? There's a community project built to document everything about the API that exists, even the internal API that like they use, because JavaScript is just like you can do anything with it, okay? And that's cool and all, but I just need some information. Programming. Welcome to the programming stream, okay? So, you officially with their plugin template, you're left in a space where you don't have every single information that you need, and so you end up having to go through everything sort of backwards by just inspecting things yourself. So in doing so, this is why the code looks like this, okay? I have these like massively long named constants because I needed to actually remember what these were. This I needed because you can do things. A lot of their TypeScript API is not typed with like const strings. A lot of it is just typed in the form of like just using regular strings to throw in information, which is fine. But they could have had both. Like it's like I don't know. You could have done something like a type parameter foo equals canvas or penis or string. You could have done something like this and had a little bit of typing for the things that you know, while still allowing it to be sort of like an any typing for the use case of somebody implementing their own type. Let's say, okay. So a lot of the API is kind of weird. That's why I have these like constants. We then do the usual sample stuff. I literally only spent like a single like 3 to 4 hour session on this just to go through like what is available within the HTML and like reading their source code. BNS Kaka. So it's mostly all the sample stuff. So even like the sample settings tab, I should probably like change this. I actually don't even know what this is. What exactly is the samples? Well, what exactly is the settings tab? What is this? Anyways, so yeah, so you have this thing, which wait, sorry. So in relation to this, what is this? Add setting tab. What does this do? Registers the settings tab, which allows users to change settings. See this for that. Okay. Oh, to change settings for your plugin, because in Obsidian I think you can do something like oh shit, now you can't even see the board. Why can't you see Obsidian? Because I put it too low. Oh shit, I put it into the wrong thing. Sorry, wait. Should be out here. The reason why so it's because in Obsidian you can go into settings somewhere. You can go into settings, you go over here, sorry, wrong place here. You can go over here and you go into community plugins. And you can go into here and you can change the settings of your plugin. And you can do things like, oh, it's a secret and stuff. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, maybe I should save that, because one setting that I will have is turn off maybe automatic previews, because that would be annoying. But yeah, it's mostly still the sampling, because I was mostly spending my time going through this. So I made it console log like a whole bunch of things, namely what is a leaf, what's inside of a leaf, and how you get to the canvas. And I found out how to get to the canvas. You have to go through the view. So I found a couple of more events, but the main event is like when a canvas leaf is opened, or like a workspace leaf. You can check the type of the leaf, and you can see what type it is. However, what's interesting is that you can get the leaves of a certain type, which is one thing, or you can go and get the actual canvas workspace leaf itself from the event. So you register the event on the active leaf change event, and you can't get the type this way. So I don't know how they do the typing internally, but I couldn't figure this out. But yeah, basically what I ended up console logging was all the information about like what is the thing that I'm going to be looking at. So the thing that we're looking at, for instance, is the entire board for a blueprint. So if I go over here and then I go over here, down here, this is the board for blueprints. This is the type of a leaf. Even though it's a canvas leaf, it doesn't really say anything besides just being a canvas leaf. Can I read properties undefined next? What? Why is Excalibur breaking? But yeah, so we then go in, and we have all this information, and then I was like, where's the canvas? Because I was looking through this, and I was like, where is the canvas? Like, how do you get the canvas? And at first I thought you have to go to the HTML element. No, you just go here. You go into the view itself, which is the actual thing that contains the canvas. This has a reference back to the canvas itself. This canvas object corresponds to that typing file that they don't expose within their package JSON. This type definition file, which exists within the official repository, doesn't get published here. They don't merge it, they don't include it, they don't do anything with it. It literally isn't even referenced from this main one. It just doesn't exist. So I had to go in and like you have to manually import it yourself, which is straightforward. You do your package like JSON thing. Wait, was it package? No, you go into your tsconfig, sorry. You go here, you add it from your node modules, which is a consistent directory, local, it's like relative to the config file. It's like very straightforward, yeah? And that's what I was doing for like the 3 to 4 hours. I was just figuring out like how exactly I'm going to build this. And that's my plan to build this thing, is you look at the edges, which you have within the canvas. You look at the nodes, which you have within the canvas. We then listen to certain events, which I'm still not entirely sure I have all of them, but I think I have all the ones I need. And it took a while to figure out. And then you simply go from there and you fire off the correct things, and then you populate the UI correctly, and you got to make sure that you clean up your UI within the workspace. But since you have the workspace, it's easy to just insert elements wherever you want. That's the beauty of this thing. The only things that I don't know are this, but first let me explain what I do know, okay? To do the first feature, which is a preview of edges to and from a node that allow to see a small view of the edge nodes and the information as to where they go to, yada yada yada. I know that when you right-click a node, it fires off an event called node menu if you right-click only a single node. So a single node being like something like a group, let's say. Maybe not a group, actually. I don't know if it works on groups. No. Say a single note like this, or a single card, or a single image. That's what that's what appears when you right-click a node, but not an edge. There's also one for selections, which I found. And the way that I found this too is actually interesting because I think either they don't minify it or they give you the actual like debug source files. But basically, you go here, you then go to the where is it again? Where is it? The event listeners, and then you say, okay, what is this event listener on this like edge over here? And you're like, what is this thing over here? And you go into the source, and hey presto, their source is completely open. So a lot of my time was spent reading this pseudo minimized. It's kind of minimized. I think it is. It must be minimized. But I don't know how it looks so pretty, and I don't really know if it's a matter of like. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. It could not be minimized, and this is just what TypeScript outputs. Because when TypeScript outputs stuff from its build process, it transforms the code that you have, and it goes and says, "What the fuck was this song? Do re mi fa so? This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life." When you go through and you run things through TypeScript, it just does like a transpilation from TypeScript into JavaScript. So I need to find the folder where it is because I don't actually know anything about this this project's build. Okay, it should be in like a main.js file, emain.js. Here we go. So it's gonna look weird no matter what you do, but the problem is I don't know if it looks weird because they're using TypeScript or if it looks weird because they actually gave like the debug source files. Because usually the like debug source file, the like source map itself, right? You would be able to like go and see it. You would be able to go and see the code with every single name out there. Like it wouldn't even like the words and like the variable names that you choose. See this? My variable names stay. I mean these are static names actually, or like class names. But like see ya this? These names would not be minimized the same way. Sorry, you can't even see it. Sorry. These names wouldn't be minimized in this way. They're like targeted something. It would say the same. This is not like and it doesn't have to be named this. The transpiler could rename this to anything to save space if it wanted to, but it doesn't from TypeScript. This is the source map URL. So I don't know what this is. But all I know is that everything that I need is here. And they also have a giant mapping of every symbol ever that they want to use. And I don't really know why. I actually don't know why they have this. I don't know why they have this. This is a lot of symbols, man. That's a lot of symbols. I guess they have to make a mapping somehow to make it render consistently across platforms because every single platform has like a different font, right? So they have to build a mapping of these symbols over to match every single use case, like if you're doing math or something, and you would just do it programmatically. But yeah, I found a lot of these events through here because you just search like something like this, and you get like the canvas selection menu and stuff. So that's where these events come from. So you go through, you get those events. You then go over, and then I say, okay, what does this do? So I did some testing. This one fires when you right-click on a single node. This one fires when you right-click on a selection of nodes. So like a grouping of nodes, but not a group. When you select like this, that's the event that fires to open this menu. Symbols are important. Smiley symbol emoji thing. We learned that last night. That's true. Thank you, Monkey Cheese. Thank you, Monkey Cheese, for telling me about which symbols are important. I love the name Monkey Cheese so much. I love. Again, chat. I wish I could tell you Sweet D's like full old name. Her old name used to be something like similar to like Roar XD. It was so fucking funny when I found it because she accidentally posted it, and I'm like, yo, you used to be Roar XD. So yeah, everybody has a very embarrassing name, and also those symbols. Yeah, it is useful, honestly, because it's like if you want to build like a note-taking platform, it has to be good enough for you to be able to use for any situation, including math. Okay, sadly, math comes into play for most notes. So when it does come into play, at least you have those symbols. It has to be consistent across every platform. I can see why they liked it that. But symbols are in general important because symbols can encode information like an acronym or an abbreviation, but with less letters. So yeah, where was I in my topic about talking about what we're going to do? Oh yeah, so this is what I know, okay? So this is what I know so far about how canvases work. You can get the canvas from the view itself. Don't mind these typing names. These type names are kind of shit. I don't really know how else to like name them, but this is the best way that I could think of. I should probably move these to the bottom as well, so that I can make space for the important stuff. So for the most part, it's fairly straightforward. We have the ability to hook into the menus when they're created from reading their official documentation, because the documentation is primarily about the UI. When you get the menu, you can actually do things like add items to it, or even add arbitrary children to it as well, that when clicked will be able to do things. So it can do things like when you click this item, you can write a function where it'll call something else, okay? Straightforward. The only complicated part that I still don't know about that we're gonna do some exploration of live together is I don't know how to do this part of this feature, which is a preview of where the edges are going to, because we can easily get what an edge connects between, because every edge has its thing within the edge, like within the canvas here. You look at each edge; every edge has a to and a from. But it's very difficult to know two things, I think, which are painful and annoying because it's sort of made in this way, is what edges a node has. So you have to go through that map to go and find them. Or maybe there's another map somewhere that I haven't seen, but my eyes were glazing over, so I couldn't find it. As well as, and this is something very difficult to do as well, how to actually get it to render that edge. Because there's this thing over here that you can kind of see that throws a wrench in the entire thing. Because for performance reasons, you wouldn't want to render everything. Did you see that? See how that box on the right blips into view? It like blips into view if I look away and then I go in. See how it like pops in? It's not popping in because it's like broken. It's popping in because it's a performance thing. You can't just load everything and expect it to work. And if you scroll too quickly, you can see it pop in. Because it unloads and then it loads in what you need. And because when you zoom out, you can't just load everything because you'll eventually crash. Right? Because some people may not have enough memory to load everything in. It gets slower and slower. There's more information that you have to parse overall to like be able to view it. Because you have to deal with interactions. You have to connect all the actual event listeners. There's a lot going on. So I don't know how to actually manage that. I don't know any way to actually force something to appear to render. I don't actually know, for instance, how to actually get the system to pull in something along with all of its relationships. Like how do I actually like pull in the entire network and like tree of information? I don't know. I don't know. So that's what we're gonna do. Is you're gonna watch me butcher as much of the source code as I can to try to figure out exactly how it works. Because there is one thing you guys have to rewrite Obsidian in assembly. There's no other way. Chat on Hacker News, there are so many people who are doing things like AI rewrites of one thing to another thing, and they're all dog shit. And you know what's crazy? Side tangent, okay? Side tangent. Speaking of the AI rewriting thing, Microsoft Comic Chat, this thing where you can, this is the thing that I forgot to talk about in the like pre-chat, but this is the thing where it does IRC but builds a comic live for you within your IRC, so everyone has their own VTuber, right? This is basically VTubing before VTubing, yeah. They use the AI to make it run on modern systems, and the AI, I'm not kidding you, there was an earlier commit, I think it was over here. The AI accidentally made Comic Sans MIT. Because right now, MS Comic Sans, you have to have a Windows license of any kind to use Comic Sans. I think they removed it entirely and they rewrote the history. But like an early version of it, the AI decided to have Comic Sans be like MIT licensed, so they accidentally relicensed it under MIT, which it probably is binding. Because people still have that version of the repository. So, here we go. Stuff like this. So, yeah, they accidentally made it MIT, which is kind of funny. So, yeah. Don't rewrite things in assembly because it sucks. Don't use AI because it sucks. Do it yourself and just figure it out yourself. But yeah, to be honest about what we do have to do, we need to figure out how this thing actually decides to put things into the viewport, because there's two major components to what a canvas is. Okay, one is the viewport itself, which is the thing that you look at as you move around. It is this window. The viewport, it's like the same thing as like a video game where you have like your camera view. This is it. Okay, the interaction that that has with the canvas causes these nodes to appear and then disappear. And it actually keeps a record of them every now and then by saying last nodes within viewports. So my theory that I've had this whole time is if I follow whatever this is and I just search for this within the source, we should be able to get exactly the thing that populates this and eventually the thing that causes the nodes to load in and render. None of which is publicly exposed. This is all, and it's not like this is illegal to like do, but it is to say that like we're using APIs that are not public, and so they're intentionally made to be used only internally by the system. So who knows how this is going to like go. But this is a good step. Okay, so we're gonna find. So first step. Okay, keep this within JavaScript. Sadly, it has to be within JavaScript. Though there's a cool project. There's a what was it called? I think it's this. Yeah, that's this thing. The team or the group behind Tokyo is making a full Rust framework for writing full stack applications, which is to say, they're making a what's that thing? They're making a Laravel for Rust, which is actually really cool. And what they have is exactly what you'd want from a Laravel Rust type of thing, in that it takes a lot of the learnings that like we've learned from the JavaScript world, from the front end side, and puts it into like a Rust, into like the Rust world, such that you get the best of both worlds. That is to say, you get types. You get types that make sense, okay? Basically, you can now use Rust to write like a full stack web application. This is, I think, going to be announced later in the week. I think they posted a bit too early. Apparently, they had to make it public because they ran out of like CI space, and so what like the CI action thing, and so what they had to do was make it public, and then people found it and then they posted it. But they apparently have like a blog post coming soon, which is crazy because it's had 211 releases. So I don't know. It seems like it's going pretty well, but their actions are also a little bit too much for 211 releases for like a 0 pre-release. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's actually kind of a cool setup because you write the same thing. You write this like HTMX sort of like format where you also interleave in things like function calls. I'm not a big fan of the idea of not using the curly braces within it, but I guess the problem is that because of the way that macros work, you have to preserve the curly braces for one thing but not the other, and so it's a little confusing to read of like, okay, is this thing like a Rust thing, is this thing an HTML thing, is this thing a something else thing, you know? But because it's not JavaScript, it becomes much simpler to parse about, because within this world you know that this has to be some Rust construct, right? So for the most part it's just minor concerns, but it's actually fairly straightforward to like, at least the concept works when looking at it. Things like these things, though, I have no clue what the hell is going on. I don't even, I can't even begin to reason about what this is doing, really. All I know is that you can eventually rewrite the web inside of Rust, which you can now using Axum, but you could do a lot. Issues? Graceful shutdown. Include a roadmap readme. No fallback. I can take care of updating the readme with the roadmap once it's ready. Yeah, because this project isn't even open yet. Closed. Can't return. No. How do I get top coat dev? What? And also, as a reminder, every hour you can suggest a new feature for this plugin. But if you suggest a feature and it sucks, I will flame you. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So the to do right now, okay, we need like a running to-do list, something like, I don't know, something that'll tell me like what I should be doing at the moment so I can like focus on one thing. Running to-do list, I don't know, I don't know, it doesn't look pretty. When you're doing something like this and you just want to get it done, it's not really meant to look pretty. You're just trying to get it to work, okay? To do, does it also do done? No, it doesn't. To do, figure out how to render a node, okay? Follow the trail of the interactions between the viewport and the nodes in a canvas to try and illuminate this process. Also, linguist, you're here. Did you watch that C-pop video that I linked? It's a great thing that goes into like how hard it is to write music for like tonal stuff. Also, I showed the photos on stream, so people know you now. Also, that's sick. I wish I could go back on VR chat. I I miss my setup so much. It's actually VR chat was so fun to go on to see people's like new shit, man. Now it's like busted. Fucking sucks. Anyways, follow the trail of interaction between the viewpoint and nodes and canvas and try to illuminate this process, okay? Figure out how to render a node. What was the other thing that I said I had to figure out? Also, you missed my rant on viewers who come in to watch programming content, begging for attention and the streamer to talk to them. Despite the fact that I'm busy trying to figure out how to save the... I'm busy trying to figure out how to, like, code shit. I don't know how to, like... I can't even remember my ideas beyond, like, a minute. That was the thing I was gonna do. What the fuck is the other thing I was supposed to do? Oh, yeah. I remember what I had to do. A way to actually get the edges for a node. You haven't watched the video, but you will because it looks very interesting. Yes! That's what I'm talking about. And then whatever you do, don't go to the channel about page. I messed up. I might get banned. I messed up and I might get banned. Figure out how... Why is it doing that rendering for this? Oh my god. Is it a custom? Maybe I should probably change the rendering for this, because I don't know if it should do that. Figure out how to get all the edges of a node, because they're currently stored separately. I think the reason why they're stored separately too is probably nothing malicious, but more about... It's probably more specifically because, like, they didn't need to actually have it be together. I'm gonna assume that it's like they just put everything onto the board, and then when they actually go to like draw the thing, they just draw whatever's there, and they use the information from the rendering side of things to fill in the gap of like, okay, what belongs to what, and they just look in there to like pull in their information. So this may either find something built in or build our own mapping that'll add. I don't know. In terms of memory pressure, it's like n plus n memory pressure. You know what I mean? Memory, like use, because you're basically adding another copy. No, even more actually. It's like every single. No, I just need like a mapping of like nodes to edges. I need like a separate mapping that like does that, doesn't copy data over. It should be okay. But it is gonna be fairly expensive, and I wonder how painful it'll be, because like even my board for blueprints is very small. If my board for blueprints is a fraction of like what the board could be for other people, what are the odds that it crashes other people's canvases? But what does that matter? Because like if you use it, I'm gonna add a disclaimer absolving me of any issues. I've seen this work. I've seen this work, and so if I do that, it should be okay. I think, you know what? If we just make it MIT and I just have that and it just says, okay, good luck, it's all on you. I'm clean, buddy. It's on you. If it crashes you, that's your problem. Okay, we'll start with number 1. Figure out how to render a node. It's going to come from the viewport. So since we have the source itself, we could just go inside the source here and we'd actually like look through the source and just figure out, okay, where is anything involving the viewports? And specifically, there's some things that I want to search up specifically that may help us find this even better, like last edges in viewport. I think if we work backwards from this value, we can probably get to exactly what we need. So last edges in viewports, it initializes it as a new set. So this is seemingly, I don't know what this is. This is the canvas itself. So this is the prototype for the canvas. Let me see, actually. What is it? Because it's like kind of minimized, but I can't really... No, that's the prototype. No, it is... So, yeah, that's the prototype. This is the constructor. This is the constructor. This is the... I'm assuming this is like the constructor function or something. Wait, do prototypes have constructors? I actually don't know. I'm not actually like well versed within like what goes into like a JavaScript prototype. What MDN? Here we go. Object prototypes. Does it have like a constructor? It does. Yeah, here we go. is an object you see as well. There are lots of other properties. Every object has a built-in property which called this prototype. This yep. Is itself an object? Yeah, object of prototype. What are the properties in a prototype? Use a constructor. Here we go. All functions of the property name the thing. This constructor is set as a prototype. When you call a function as a constructor, this function is set in the property named proto. Yeah, so we set the prototype and constructor. We should all just create with the constructor or given that yeah. This makes sense. But and then okay, so the property. So yeah, so that has to be the constructor then. Okay, that has to be the constructor, or at least the like prototype itself. When you go and you make it. So okay, so this makes sense. So this is a thing, or just some sort of like thing that like this is the initializer of some kind. How is that used? I also can't search it by this because it may not always be in the context of this. What the fuck is a virtualize? What? E becomes this? T? Oh, fuck. Okay, remember that this is not E, and E is specifically I. Sorry, E is this, okay? This is E, and then I becomes this. Last edges in viewport. So what is virtualize? Wait. Why don't I just get all the properties of the thing and just see what happens? No, because there's no documentation anyways. It's better to just read the source code. It's easier. So with the I, where's it gonna go with the I? How do I actually select it? How do I actually explore this? How do I evaluate selected text in console? Don't do that. Actually, maybe I don't know. Let's see what happens. I is not defined. How do you, if this is set up as a prototype and it's within here, couldn't I console log the prototype and get the source that way, and then it becomes a lot easier because then I can see it per function name instead of all within this giant list. But either way, I guess my problem would still be that I don't really know what this is. But this seems like it's related to the idea of actually turning the data that is inside of a canvas into the visual itself. So this actually could be the best bet for us. This could be the best trail for us to follow. Because look, at the end of this function, it specifically sets it so some of these values, and then it returns whether or not there were any updates, and if so, then it could calls request frame. Holy shit, I think that's it. If there are any updates, you request a frame. It pushes in different nodes of different types. I don't really know what they are. And then it either attaches or it detaches them after it checks for this stuff and stuff. What does that mean when you attach and you detach, though? But that's what I'm assuming happens is it iterates. See, it iterates over every single node, every single edge, and it sees which ones are within what. I don't know. What the fuck is this song? I think that makes sense. But I'm also just like this is I'm reading the code like I'm divining tea leaves because I'm too lazy to read it closely, but I probably should. And that has D. What is D? What is P? PHP. What PHP? Look at this too. This is fucked up, okay? Var U equals 0, H equals 0, P equal O to create a copy of O. So O is an easy value to copy over. O is a set which is from O, which is all nodes. So P is a... Why did it copy the nodes into P, or why did it refer to it by a different name? Probably within their actual code, it's probably named I don't know, current nodes, current nodes being iterated over or something. So it's easier to read, but because it gets minimized down, it's it doesn't make any sense. PHP sus. Did you see the chat? Did I show you the native PHP thing where you can use PHP to write mobile apps now? It's actually cursed. It's one of those things that you know the scene in Jurassic Park where they go okay, you always wanted to, sure you could, but you never asked if you should, type of deal. It's the same thing. But what's funny is that we didn't get dinosaurs, which probably tastes good because there's the thing about dinosaurs. Okay, people think that dinosaurs would suck to have, but dinosaurs would taste good because think about this. We hunted buffaloes to extinction or something. We hunted mammoths to extinction because they had a lot of meat. All right? And chickens are most closely related to dinosaurs. And chickens taste fucking delicious deep fried. So if you had a dinosaur, my brother in Christ, that is just a giant fried chicken. Amazing. We would hunt the shit out of them. We wouldn't even be afraid. We would just be like, okay, good. More sources of tasty food. Who wants a dino nugget? Who wants a real actual dino nugget? Oh, 07 mammoths. The mammoths are gone. They're all dead now. Dodos would also be delicious. It's fucked up. It's honestly fucked up. Because, like, sure, I have free healthcare, but I'll never taste a dodo. Like, it's fucked up that I didn't leave some. Because think about it, okay? Imagine eating a dodo in a time period when you have no healthcare, and like your healthcare amounts to, oh, you have parasites? Okay, deal with it. We're gonna burn some like leaves and hopefully the parasites die. And if you die, it's because everyone has like a 20-year time span, yeah? What do you mean they couldn't leave the dodos until 2026? Why couldn't they leave the dodos until we have things like prosthetics so that you can eat a dodo, get the parasites, cleanse yourself of parasites, you know the flavor, and then you would still be safe? Like, they ate the dodo, and then they died of parasites, and then now there's no more dodos, so I don't get to taste the dodo. It's fucked up. Because I was reading Delicious in Dungeon, yeah? And I relate so much to Laios' concern. Laios' concern is he wants to eat everything. He wants to see everything. He wants to explore the world. He wants to live his life. There's things that he has to do, that he has to get to. He has responsibilities that he has to get to, and that's very normal, right? But he still at least wants to live his life as much as he can while he can. I can't even eat a dodo. We implemented free healthcare earlier. We could have had dodo. So true. I do think about this a lot. It's like I was born in like the best and the worst times depending on my viewpoint, because you can't even eat a person anymore. It's illegal to like eat people. Yeah, there was a period of time where scientists were like eating mummy flesh. Imagine what a mummy tastes like. I know, like, it sounds disgusting, and I would never want to eat it, but I would want to try it at least once. You can't anymore. It's a global crime to eat a mummy. It's crazy. It's literally illegal to like eat a dead body. There's also mummy paint. I've never churned a person's finger into paint before. Oh, that's a good game concept. Wait. Yo, I finally figured it out. Hold up. Idle button pressing game, step aside. We now have raw painter game. The raw painter game. A game about painting where you have to make all your own ingredients. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm trying to find. There's a lot of things to alt tab. There's a lot of things to alt tab to. Sorry. Okay? Good. What was that thing? Sorry. Game where you have to make your own ingredients for stuff. Like, e.g., dustifying mummies. Fuck. Dustifying. What's it called? Grading mummies into brown. Okay? That's the beauty of this game. You go around and it's like a holy shit. You kill people to be able to paint things. That'd be a weird game concept, actually. That'd be a weird game concept where you have to take life and you have to take the resources around you to be able to paint things while the inspiration strikes you, right? That'd be interesting. And then what could that do? You know what? That could be like a weird Okami-esque game. You know what I mean? Because the thing about Okami that was funny was that the combat was both very fun but also very inconsequential. Like the combat for everything was just super easy, so there's never like a need to to think about things, right? But what if it's like, holy shit, game like Okami, except you have to do the combat well in order to get the pigments you need to paint with in order to activate your paint powers. That's the trick. Purple is a hard pigment to get too. Yeah, exactly. Like, it could be interesting. Yeah, because like some pigments are hard to get, and if you have to kill the monsters in like specific ways to get the pigments to be able to use them for like different things, you have to like cut down the environment and like manipulate it in a way. It could be good, kind of like an Okami thing. But that's for somebody else to make. So that's my idea. I'm gonna throw it out there. Whoever wants to make that, let me know. I'll take a credit. I I won't even take payment for it. You can literally cut me out of the payment. I just want to see it made. Thank you. I have too many ideas to make. I have to make this like plugin. Okay, sorry. One thing at a time, folks. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. I'm pretty sure. So okay. So back to this. P is the list of nodes. What is N? N is the last nodes in the viewport. Okay, so look at this. See this? If N has D, which is D is the nodes, the list of nodes themselves, it's going through every single list of nodes. What? Oh, get intersecting nodes from O. What? Sorry, O is not O. O is not every node. It's not this dot nodes dot values. It's specifically the intersecting nodes, which is this function gets you the nodes that are currently within the view. If it is there, it then attaches the node. So I see. If the node isn't already accounted for, it attaches the node to the viewport and actually gets it to appear. If not, and the number of updates or something is at some point, and it says no, we get rid of it. What is T? What? Wait, sorry, let me start from scratch. So this is the number of nodes, but how come it reassigns O? What? And O equals... Oh, it doesn't reassign O. It does it all within this. No, it does reassign O. And var... Okay, is the and O equal array from... No, this would reassign O. I mean, this is being shadowed for use somewhere, but it would be shadowed and released where? It would be shadowed and released within this. So O and A are then being shadowed to be reused here. So O is no longer this dot get intersecting nodes? Because what is this dot nodes? What is this dot nodes? This is every node. Because this is the canvas itself. This is every node, and then it goes from this nodes to this every node. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know. All I know is that this is specifically the idea of like the intersecting nodes. So if we ignore whatever this line is, because I don't know what the fuck this is, I can't figure this out. What does that mean? The return value of array from is to convert a value into an array, right? Like if I search up MDN array from, and then using it within a map, you would convert, because right now the nodes itself, the nodes and edges are stored within a map. This should convert it from into a shallow copied array. Yeah, so it copies transforms the one container or like the set of values into an array containing a shallow copy of those values. Right. So why is it doing that and then shadowing the value again? What? Look, either way, this is the intersecting nodes, okay? These are the nodes that are visible within the screen right now that it has. These are the things that are currently on screen. I'm assuming this specifically. So this function, I have some functions to follow. I'm going to write these down. So quickly here, just go here. This is like the working log. It's kind of a shitty working log, but it's fine. I'd usually use org mode for this, because org mode, the one cool thing is that you can link to different source files, but I'm not on Emacs, and I don't want to use Emacs because it's just too fucking slow on say Windows. For some things, though we could use it now just for the Nyancat. So e.prototype.virtualize. I also wouldn't be able to because this file is like contained within this application. I don't know how to extract it or like how to link to it. So fuck me, I guess. So that's the function that I need to find. Also, welcome to your first ever programming stream that you see within from me. It's painful. It's painful. Get intersecting nodes and edges. Get intersecting nodes and intersecting edges. So nodes. Okay, let's find these. You can't see the nodes that I typed because I didn't think, but it's fine. Where is this? Hand drag to select. No. I need to find this function. e.prototype get intersecting nodes. There we go. E is specifically the... I don't know what it is. I don't know what it minimizes to. I actually don't know what it's minimizing to, but it's definitely minimizing to the object itself that is going to be used as like the prototype for everything. So it's fine. Programming is generally painful though, right? It is, yeah. I had a rant in the pre-stream. And the reason why I'm programming within just chatting is because when I go to program in the non just chatting section, right? The problem is that when you go there, every chatter that watches a programming stream that specifically trawls the programming category, right? It's like they're doing it because they're lonely. They're not doing it because they want to like because they care about what you're building. They're doing it because they're like lonely and they want you to like talk to them. Which is like fine, but the problem is that programming is like the worst topic to do it for. But every programmer is fundamentally lonely. So all these lonely fucks show up. And they're like, "Hey, please talk to me. Please pay attention. Hey, how come you're not reading my like messages? Hey, did you get this like message?" It's like, "Yeah. Yeah, I'm fucking getting it. Do you get what I'm doing? Do you see what I'm trying to understand? What is O? It's exam time. What's O? You don't know? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's the problem. That's the problem why we're programming in just chatting because everybody who shows up for a programming stream as like a random viewer, for some reason, they all demand my attention. And I'm like, buddy, I'm trying to figure out O. I don't have time for you. I just don't have time for you. There's a node index. There's a node index. That's weird. But so then what about intersecting edges? There's an edge index. What? Where's the edge index? So if I go over here, is it on the canvas itself? Oh shit, there is. Oh shit. Oops. Oh, I see. Does this change as I scroll around? It doesn't seem to change. You know what? It's because I'm not really I'm not console logging it. I need a way to console log this quickly. Edge, good edge. I need a way to console log this. The only way that I know to console log it is to scroll and then reopen this. It's not like a live view. It's not like a live view. It's not in like a debug mode. I have to like go and reopen this. Where is it? So open this. But the problem is that when you reopen, you go somewhere else. There has to be an event for when you move, right? Promise processing failed. That's okay. It's fine. It's meant to fail. But I'm assuming when I look at the canvas, it probably has every single edge and node that's here. So the problem is that I see that this is already wrong. You know what I mean? Because like, what do you mean there are only 5 children? Never mind. Every child has a shit ton of. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is going on? Why is it like a... Huh? What? It's a 4-dimensional array? What? It's a matrix. It's a matrix? What am I going to do with all those children? I don't know. That's a good fucking question. It's a matrix. Yeah, why is it a matrix? It's a 4-dimensional array. It's basically a matrix of like X, Y, Z, W. But like, why? Is it because of the positioning? No, that wouldn't make any sense. Because an edge has a position, but it's not like an edge is the positional value. So why is it a 4-dimensional array? I don't know. And now you get to the part where I'm trying to figure out what this is. It's a matrix, Neo. Eat the pill, please, Neo. Eat it, please. So this is when I stop talking, and this is when the music takes over, and this is when I realize that we need Nyan Cat to like keep me going, because this is nice and all, but like Nyan Cat, at least with Nyan Cat, you can see the cat going around, and I feel less insane. So please give me a moment while I listen to the music and I think about why there would be 4 different arrays, as I look at the value too. Why? Because this is the... Oh, guys, I think he's dying. Oh, hey, chat. I think he's dying. Should we do something about him? I think he's dead. Sorry, I forgot my Emacs has to compile the TypeScript grammar. Sorry, please give me a moment. It's compiling TypeScript. I actually don't even know if I can use Emacs for the Nyan Cat because I think it's still broken. Well, not broken, but it's like I don't know what happened, but when I had to rebuild because I switched over to Emacs 32, which is in like a super pre-release, it's like basically I'm just pulling from like master, okay? the build script that I was using broke, so I switched over to the actual official build script officially from the repository because I realized I'm too lazy to like do my own patches. So I was like, okay, I'll just use yours. And then somebody already pushed the patch that I needed. Oh, it opened. Okay, good. And so I was like, okay, perfect, nice. You pushed the patch that I needed, so I'm gonna use your thing because it's easier. And I was like, okay, thank you. Like it's so much easier to like do. But then the problem is that when I did that, I had to like delete the entire folder to like redo everything because it's kind of broken. So, and then this is where it is. But it's okay now. It works now. I need to switch the capture mode though to automatic probably. No, it can work either way. So this is the Nyan Cat. What was the window? What was the message? Do not ask anything. Why are you asking me things? Okay, well, there's a cat. It's going to appear in just a moment. Why would it be 4 different arrays? Wait a minute. I'm stupid. Wait. I don't need to care about that. I don't care about that because of this. I don't care about that because I'm busy doing this. Also, I'm using the wrong theme. Sorry, there's like a green theme that I used to use. Sorry, can you give me like a moment? Can you give me like a moment as I open like a personal config file that like you definitely shouldn't see? I like Emacs, but like fuck, is it just painful on Windows? And it's only Windows. What was the theme that I was using? It was like a green theme. Sorry. I was playing around with trying to fix some of the things too. That's the one. That's the one. That's what it's called. That's what it's called. That's what it's called. How do you do this again? How do you set this again? I think you do like this. I'm pretty sure it's like this. And if I close it and if I reopen it, it should be fine. But if it's not fine, you'll see it crash very quickly, so it's okay. I like Emacs a lot. I like the idea of like everything built into one thing. But my god, is it so slow in Windows that like there's no point. But like the Nyan Cat, for instance, like really the thing that like NeoVim needs is like a built-in GUI, so you can do shit like Nyan Cat. Because all you can do is Nyan Cat via ASCII, which fucking sucks. But what's crazy is that we can get there eventually, okay? Because we now have the Kitty image protocol. And as far as I know, every developer who cares about stupid aesthetic things like that is using Kitty. So we could technically do that. You know what? Fuck Emacs. I'm going to use... No, but if I'm going to open an org file every now and then because of game ideas, we might as well just like keep it. But it doesn't look... It doesn't look orange. Like, it doesn't burn your eyes. So, like now it looks like normal code. Like, it doesn't burn your eyes. Fuck it. Okay, I'll just do it myself. Okay, wait. Write this down. Can somebody write this down for me? Fuck it. I'll write down myself. Fuck it. I'm doing it live. Fuck it. I'm doing it live. Don't mind the ass cheeks. Where's the projects? It's not really mods. Tools. Yes, tools. Totally real tool. Totally real tool. to do. NeoVim, Nyan Cat, like screensaver and scroll progress thingy mabob via Kitty image protocol. Okay, because every this is gonna piss people off. Every self-respecting developer is currently using a terminal that has support for the Kitty image protocol developed by the one dude who has anger issues. This is gonna piss people off. Therefore, it is reasonable to assume that people who want such an aesthetic thing as Emacs zone Nyan package, but for NeoVim. In doing so, I will be famous. And they can finally update their README to include a worthy successor to the Nyan Cat franchise. Because for context, Well, yeah, we'll just go to the mirror file. We'll go to the GitHub mirror. This is the package itself. It's like a decade old. Okay. Where's the? Maybe it's on Melpa actually. Maybe it's on Melpa. Give me a second. It's somewhere here. No, it's not. No, it's Nyan. It's the Nyan scrolling one. It's the Nyan cat scrolling one. Nyan. How come Nyan mode? Nyan mode. Here we go. And then the GitHub. Here we go. And then we go over here. Okay, look. Other editors. For many years, the only the one true editor, which is like the classic sort of like Flame Warriors, has been blessed by the presence of Nyancat. Since its inception, other souls have tried. Every single one failed. All the Vim ones is text only. Okay, I can finally kill this list. I can finally become a better version of this list. Go in and then say, well, guess what? Now the other one true editor also has one as well. Now we have a Nyancat of our own. Fucko. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. That was a waste of time. Sorry, that was a complete waste of time. This is how programming streams usually go. I get distracted and I don't really want to bother. And again, you can add a feature. You can request a feature. Actually, can please tell me, is it even there? What feature do you want? I don't know. A giant glowing neon button that says I'm the best. Does that work? You know what it is? I need to move it to the very top. That's why. You can add a feature that you want within the plugin by doing that. It costs you as many points as you earn within 1 hour. So choose wisely. If it's a bad idea, this is what I do to it. It goes away, okay? So think wisely. Think very wisely. Anyways. Can we go back to the repository? And can we go back to the file? Thanks. I'll make my own shit. Oh, fuck it, I'm doing it live. So this function is the function, though. If we ignore this, actually, because now that I think about it, I don't need to know exactly the intersecting edges, because I don't need to care if it's intersecting. What I need is that it has to actually be a part of a node, and we can get that elsewhere. Then we can ignore this, because the intersection is only for the viewport, so this is useless to me. The key, however, is that I know now how to attach things. What did I just move? You want titties. You want titties. You want titties in the Obsidian plugin. You want titties in the Obsidian plugin? I'll add thinly veiled titties, and they'll probably ban me. They'll probably ban me from uploading. I'm gonna put your ticket down here, okay? Your ticket goes into the idea pile. They'll probably ban me from like adding things. I'll add your ticket at the bottom, okay? Yeah, but just leave it there. But I'll try to slip in a titty. How about this? How about this? Inet.lure, where is my titties? Here we go. Okay, which one do you want? Which one do you want? Do you want this one? This is good. Is that a backtick? No, that's a single quote. This is fine. This is good. Okay? I'll just add like a constant for titties. Const titties equals probably just an array, because it has to be an array because everyone is comma separated. There. Happy? This will never be visible. This will never be visible. Okay, now you have a constant. Okay, you have titties. Boom. Your ticket is done. Thank you for your 200 points. Okay, this is the imaginary sort of like working board. Okay, it's going down. It's being thrown. Wait, you're welcome. How have I not been banned yet? You know what I mean? It's like I have like Evangelion themed titties on my screen basically the entire time that I'm programming. I've never been banned once. It's almost impressive that I've never really been banned. How do I do the TypeScript ignore thing? Because I am gonna care about TypeScript ignore warnings. There's like a pragma that like it's like a suppression. It's like a suppression. Here we go. A TS ignore comment or a TS lint disable suppresses all. Is it TS lint though? Sus. Maybe one of you is like a Twitch admin and you're trying your hardest not to get me banned, but I'm like, okay, let's just like do this. What exactly is the oh wait, sorry. What's the what is the diagnostic though? TypeScript, what is the diagnostic? Is it declared, but I guess I don't really get the diagnostic code. Why doesn't this show the diagnostic code? Why doesn't this show the diagnostic code? What? Sorry, it's DD leader DD. It's FZF to do augment this to show the actual to show the specific diagnostic code above the diagnostic list item. So for EG configuration, for EG LSP configuration purposes, yes. That's good. I hate doing a single double line. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so well, that's fine. Okay, we'll just do TS ignore. What was it? At TS ignore. There we go. Not that. TS lint. TS lint. What is a TS lint? I don't want to go to I don't want to go to Palantir. TS lint. Ignore unused variable. No dash unused dash variable. Thank you, thank you, Palantir, for the flock camera. Yes, it is. I'm pretty sure it's the same Palantir. Is it not the same Palantir? It is. It is the same. I'm pretty sure it's like the exact same Palantir. Is it? Palantir GitHub IO. What Palantir is this? Is it the Palantir that's like going for the cameras? What? It's deprecated. What? Okay, well, TypeScript ESLint ignore rule. ESLint disable. Oh my fucking god. Okay. ESLint disable. You can't say this. At TypeScript ESLint / no unused variables. Why is it so complicated? Sorry, why is it so different? What the fuck? Unused? Okay. It is Palantir! It is fucking Palantir. Right? This is the flock camera, right? The thing. It is fucking Palantir. I fucking knew it. Shit. I forgot that Palantir has hands in it. It doesn't work. I don't even know what is it using then? What? Fuck it. I don't know. It's using ESLint. TypeScript ESLint. Okay, fuck it. Whatever. Fuck you, chat. Fuck you. Fuck it. Just like call to these. There. Make it use. It's stupid, but it just works. Because I'm going to need to remember all these diagnostics. Diagnostics are useful, okay? Try your best to have no useless warnings. If you have a useless warning, you're going to hate yourself. Because when you go over and you try and you want to know what's broken, having to remember to ignore 150 things and to like try to find the one thing that actually matters, that's hard. The fuck did I do? Everything. Everything. Okay, so we don't need the intersecting edges. What we need is attach. This is it. Node element or unnode element. This adds the node to the viewport. What I need to know is it adds it to the canvas, okay? But what I need to know is how do I get it to actually, I don't know, like appear. I actually don't know how this works. This node dot node el dot detach. Append child this dot node. Oh, every node has a node element. Oh, that's the secret. Fuck you, chat. Fuck all of you. Okay, this is it. Every node has a node element. So all you need to do is to call attach on the node. So if I call attach on the node, it will then attach this node to the canvas. which is not really what I want. What I want it to do is I need to take this node element and make it appear within my preview window. Because again, we're going to build a preview window, which is probably, and actually maybe this is like a test. This is technically one of the best use cases because the canvas, you can like dynamically document it while you're building things. So let's say I add a new card. Let's say, okay? Let's say this is a card. No, let's say that this is a card that you're going to say, I'm a node. Okay? When you right-click it, it's going to open up a context menu. And what I want to have on the context menu is something like this. Okay? Where'd you go? It's then going to say something like, this is actually kind of a genius thing, is you use the thing that you're working on to build documentation for the thing. It's fucking sick. Wait, this is genius. Create a group. Node preview. Okay? This is like the node edge preview. How many edges do you have? This is the node edge preview. When you open this menu, it's gonna have a thing that like says, I don't know. It's gonna have a thing like preview edges in this menu. This is like a shitty version of it, but it's gonna say something like that over here. Okay, so it's gonna be a part of this menu. It's then gonna say preview edges. Right? This is what the UI is going to look like, and then when it does that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it actually. Yeah, this is it. It's gonna do that. When you click that, underneath this node, it's gonna show a window underneath it with every single node inside of it. So it's like, okay, every single one that you see that it's currently connected to. So kind of like this, and then each and every single one is like, okay, this is an edge. This is like edge 1, edge 2. So it's like instead of this, you would then have like, I don't know, edge 1. And really, it's gonna look similar to, I think, the group itself. It's going to be closest in visuals to the group, but just because the stacking thing has to work like this, it'll be like edge 1. Edge 2, right? It's going to look kind of like this. And then each and every single one, you can see the how do I make the edge move towards it though? How do I make the edge move towards it? Or do I say I don't bother? Because when you hover over this, preview feature set. Okay. Sub window that looks like a shitty group. That looks like a more concrete group, but temporary. Actually, what it could look like is specifically this UI over here. Like specifically this UI element. Same. That looks like the background, but that looks like the menu the context menu that opens up to do find the theming variables for this with all the nodes rendered within. Okay, so this is good. We have the every node has a node EL, which is node element. EL for elements. Everybody loves my El node, El Mayo, El Yayo, El node. Every node has a node EL that can be simply copied over and attached to the tree at that point. The problem is, how do I... How do I do this? The preview can't be a permanent part of the system. The preview can't be a permanent part of the system. It has to be like a transient thing. It has to disappear at some point. Temporary. It has to be temporary. And how am I going to attach it? Because there are two coordinate spaces that I'm working with here. One is the viewport, which is specifically this window. So the viewport is up to this line up here, up to this window, up to the trimming and all the accessories, right? Even excluding the title bar, right? So basically it is this window. Within the viewport, you have like a HUD view, which has a HUD on top of it. It's very similar to like a game. It's not really a HUD, but I'm going to call it a HUD because that's the closest analogy, and I don't really know the name of this. But the world view is actually like a visual. in and of itself. So this is being rendered here as well underneath the viewport. There's like a actual canvas that's like going on here. Maybe I render it on the canvas, but I don't want it because like this window, this context window, does it exist? Actually, does it exist within the space of this? I think it does. But presumably, this context window is the same level as something like, you know, the of the HUD, let's say. So if I look for canvas, I look for the canvas elements. Here we go. Oh no, I look for the leaf view, the workspace view. This container workspace view. And I go into the content of it, and then I look at the header, then I look at the content. I'm assuming that this context menu doesn't appear there. See that canvas menu container? That's a menu for this thing. So that's the menu for this thing. Actually, that is a physical thing. But you see how it's actually a part of the HUD view, right? And it just kind of orients itself to the location of the node. So it's actually a part of the HUD layer. It's not a part of like the actual canvas layer. You can see it translating within real time the position, offsetting it by your scroll position, because I'm assuming it has like a scroll listener or something on it. If I look at this and look at the event, no, I mean somewhere something is scrolling and affecting this thing, which is kind of nice. But we could do that, because then what would be nice is that you would always sort of know what it relates to, and we could work around the fact that this base, there might not be enough space to do a preview. Because the big thing is that, basically, the thing that I'm worried about is when you have a canvas like this, and you want to do a preview of all the edges going towards something like something that's huge. I swear we passed it, but my eyes are getting old. I'm 31 years old now. I turned 31 yesterday, and now I'm 31. Chat, I'm old. I'm gonna die. Your grandfather is gonna have a stroke with all this thinking. Here we go. Imagine you have something like this and you want to see all the connections, right? But you also want to zoom in because you're using it as a visual board to visualize some sort of like chessboard, let's say, okay? If I view all the connections like by right-clicking it and saying view all and then clicking my menu item of like view all connections, right? Where is it going to appear? If it appears within the actual canvas space itself, it would be at the bottom or something. But if you then have to scroll away from your context. Better is it appears over here, but it has to be on that HUD view. So I have to do the same thing like that. I need to find the exact layer that I can insert things into, because I don't know exactly what this layer is, but there's a layer that I can insert things into. I don't really know what though. So I need to, because let's say because the thing is, when you have the node elements, right? You have the container for the nodes, for the node preview. You have to render that container onto that layer, and then you need to render the node element into that container. So you need to parent it to something on the DOM tree. But to what? Now I know. Parent of preview box itself is in the same, I guess, like layer as the context menus and controls and so on, such that the user can always preserve their current viewport coordinates and still view all edge previews within one view without having to reorient themselves. Does that make sense? That's sort of, I'm saying the same thing twice, but it's fine. That's the goal. How do you get this? How do you get this parrot? How do you get this parrot? Well, I have the event. Fuck this running to-do list. I have the event that allows me to go and then figure out how to render a node. Okay, this is easy. This is done. Done. Very easy. Call node dot. Call just attach node.nodeEl to any element, and you have it rendered, okay? And you have it rendered, and then presumably, I think as a parent, you could probably do, oh shit, you don't even see the thing, sorry. Presumably as a parent, I probably could have CSS. What's the CSS to scale things again? CSS scale MDN. Here we go, scale CSS function, I think. Yeah, here we go. This is all you have to do. Is on the parent, you could then scale it down. So let's say like, because the nodes themselves might be huge, right? If you just scale the node down, you might be able to do a lot by simply doing that and then allowing you to like fit it within the thing. That, or you just constrain it and you say if it doesn't fit, just like cut it off. You know, so like just like make basically it's the hierarchy is gonna be like I don't know. Hierarchy is it's like I don't know. This is like the like I don't know. This is like the view hierarchy is okay. Preview container into node container, right? Node element. Okay. Sets this sits in the UI layer, whatever this is. I don't know, in like the UI layer, in the UI layer, okay? This sets a max size for the node element so that we don't render a giant fuckface in the middle of nowhere and break everything. Okay? The node gives us this. Simple. Very simple. How do you get the node layer? That's a new to-do. So now it's to-do. How do you get the specific container for things like e.g. the menu, like the menus? How do I insert something into that layer? Is there something official that allows me to get this thing that allows me to get it? Because it's one thing to add a menu. You can add a menu very easily by just calling the menu stuff, right? And you can spawn that menu anywhere, and that menu can have any arbitrary child in it. It's the same reason why this works, okay? But do I want to use that? Because menus, you see the problem with like menus? They stay static. Like this menu is different from this menu. There's a different menu that's being rendered when I select something versus when I have a context menu. So context menus are not the same as whatever canvas menus that exist, okay? Okay. Context menus are completely different from the, I don't know, floating, I don't know, like menu that you get when selecting a node in a canvas. But we want to put the preview UI in the same space as that floating menu instead of the context menu layer. I don't know. It's called layers. I switch between every single project has me switching between like a different system for UI, and every single system defines its own terms. And so every single time I'm always like, okay, here it's called layers, here it's called like a hierarchy, here it's called like every single system has a different name for it. So it's so confusing because you go around, but it all means the same thing. I just wish everybody would use the same terms because it all means the same thing, okay? When we're in a professional context, I love acronyms. When I'm on the street and I'm explaining it to like my friends, I'm gonna say, "Oh, you know, it's like a pie, and like you know, the crust. This is the crust. This is the filling." You know what I mean? There's levels to this shit. Yo, there's levels. We call it levels. There's levels to this shit. Why does it look so ass? I need to fix the render. I'm not gonna fix that. That's too much work. Fuck it. I'm too lazy. I don't want to do anything. I think the reason why it renders like this is because it just specifies the width of the thing to highlight, and the problem is that when it specifies the width, it has to specify an even width. It can't specify an offset width from like either side. It just specifies a width, and probably NeoVim does the highlighting itself by going into TreeSitter or something somewhere does the highlighting. Whatever that thing does highlighting probably just like does it from like a common center point. Ideally, the calculation would move the center point and then change the width of the thing, but I'm assuming it didn't want to do that because it should work. Because the same thing works for the visual selection, but I don't know. I'm using a plugin for it. I'm too lazy to fix it. The current viewpoint has all this. Follow the trail. How do you get a specific container? I need to get that container, and so specifically with all the nodes rendered within in the context menu, so on, having the view on the user in the canvas UI layer. So there's like a. This is distinct from the context menu UI layer, which sits above the workspace, which sits above the leaf itself. Because it's like workspace leaf into something else. And I'm pretty sure their official documentation goes over this actually. Wait. Here we go. About the user interface. Wait. What the fuck is this? It's the editor. Huh? View, editor. Editor. The editor class exposes. I don't think this is using an editor because it uses code mirror. But this is only for the text files. The canvas uses an entirely different thing, so this doesn't relate to it. But it is that it's within a view. Views that now Obsidian displays content. Get view type returns a unique identifier for the view. What, really? Wait, is that how you do it? Oh my god. It's get view type. Oh my god. Well, where's the function that I use? Because right now I'm like doing this like is canvas workspace leaf view. Really, can't I just do console.log typees? Mommy wants typees. Streamer wants typees. Streamer wants typees. Uppies, please. Mommy, uppies, please. Mommies. Mommy, uppies, please. Get view. Get type. What was the type? It isn't fucking exposed. That's why I couldn't find it. It's not exposed on the view. Wait, but is it the same as a workspace leaf? What is this? Workspace leaf. Get view state. Open view. You can open it by calling that function. Set view state. Get view type. What is this on? Markdown view. What? Abstract protected. What? View. What? Okay, workspace leaf. So workspace leaf is a workspace item, which is not a view, because the view itself is what? You get is deferred. Okay, that's a getter. You can do this syntax? What? What syntax is this? Is that new? TypeScript getter syntax. Oh shit. TypeScript uses getter and setter is syntax that is like ECMA script / action script 3. However, in order to use it at all, you must target ECMA script. Oh wait, right, no, sorry. I do remember that. Sorry, yeah. Sorry. It's been a while since I've used any JavaScript, but it is like baseline JavaScript. You just do that. Okay, so that's a problem. You have to get the view itself. I mean, we have the property the view. See this? So you have to get the view, and then you have to from the view, you have to get the view get type view type. This thing should return specifically canvas. Because I'm getting the workspace leaves by their specific type, by getting leaves of type. But it's weird because like leaves of type is not the same as views of type. But maybe because it's all on the views that determines the leaf type. I'm not really sure. Why'd I do this? Oh yeah, because there's a npm run dev, I think. So you have to basically to run the plugin based on their sample plugin preview, the based on the repo that like their official template. You do that. And then you just reset the plugin. So you go here. You then quickly enable and you disable your plugin. And then if I reopen this, it should appear and then yell at me. It didn't yell at me. It didn't say uppies. It didn't say that I want uppies. How come it didn't say that I want uppies? Where's my uppies? Where's my uppies? I was hoping for uppies. Wait, wrong function. Sorry, that's why. Wrong function. On active leaf change. Here we go. Because I never call that. Right, here we go. Leaf is possibly null. Okay, fine. If on leaf equal null return. There. I'm pretty sure that's fine. So that'll and then I need to sorry, you didn't see the code. I had to quickly switch it down here. So now that here, rather than reset this. Okay. Please give me uppies. There we go. Streamer wants uppies canvas. So that's how you figure out what the leaf is. So the leaf gets its type from its view. Okay, this explains a lot actually. Okay, so I can actually just use this instead of this like stupid TypeScript thing. I turn view the get view type equals canvas leaf type. Hello, my favorite stoic omega. I'm never gonna live it down. I'm never gonna live it down. I'm never gonna fucking live it down. And now I'm a stoic omega. I'm never gonna live it down. God damn it! I've become an omega in the eyes of my chat. Fuck. Does this thing have prettier? I think I had this last night and I was too lazy to set it up. But there's like a million ways to do prettier. You can do it on the LSP level. You can do it on like on the package level. I like to do a little bit of both. It has to run on ESLint too to run programmatically. I'll figure it out afterwards. There's something in my LSP configuration that allows me to like set some command somewhere. I'm sure. Yeah, your favorite stoic omega is going insane. Sorry, your favorite stoic omega is learning a lot about what this is. So we have this. I don't need to call attach. What I need to do is just look at the node element and stick it in. I feel like this feels like deja vu. Because like this is something that I tried to do for blueprints, but I think my brain was too frazzled before to like do it. Whereas now it's a lot easier, right? Well, right. I still need to figure out exactly how to get this like layer. Like how do I get the correct layer to input things into? Like how do I, you know what? And the reason why this is easy to find out is because there's actually an event that like I can go see. Canvas selection. Is it a selection? I don't think it matters if you even. I think it's specifically when you click and you select something. So if I go to this node, if I go to any node, and we can actually go to an easier one. We can go to my test one. We can go to my test one, and in my test one, what I can do is I can look at this node. Let's say. See, your stoic omega is about to become a beta. And then soon I'll become a full-on alpha. It's crazy. You know what it is? That test was stupid. I'm gonna say that test was stupid, okay? Some of the answers are stupid. Like, what do you mean it's not alpha to want to go on like a nice relaxing date with your partner? Like, I'm sorry to say it. If what an alpha likes to do is to like grab somebody by the throat and then yell at them, like that's not like that's kind of boring, man. I don't know what to tell you, but like you can be abused back at home. You know what I mean? Like anybody can abuse you. Only a true alpha can give you absolute, true, peaceful romance. I think that test was wrong. It was flawed. It was flawed. Damn it, flawed. It was flawed. You can't tell me otherwise. It's flawed. I'm mad. He's seething. He's seething. He's seething. Wrong thing. Sorry. I need to go over here. I need to go to the canvas, and I need to look at a node. Any node. This is a simple 0 to 10 map, so it's easier. This element, this node element, wrong node type. I can't believe I chose the worst possible node. I need specifically one of these nodes. I need to delete every node that... No, don't delete nodes. This node, there we go. This canvas node. This event listener has a click. You click on it, does this. What? I would never find this by text search because everything is on click, so it'd be impossible. This bad boy says on click call this set is editing. And then whether or not it's in edit mode, instance of CZ Counter-Strike 0. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What the fuck is Counter-Strike 0 doing here? If the canvas is read only, so if the canvas isn't read only, then so the reason why you do the or is because in JavaScript it's also like a short circuiting logic thing, so it's easier than like an if. It's almost like doing like a shitty ternary, but like worse. But basically, if it's this, it'll just return this, and that's the function does nothing. Or you execute this. It's very odd. I'm not a big fan of using that pattern because it can be kind of confusing to read. It's like it's one of the patterns that like lends itself well to writing like a very sort of condensed form of code, right? But the condensed form of code, unless you know these tricks, is more confusing for like somebody who like lightly works in front end stuff. Unless you know them, and specifically JavaScript stuff, you wouldn't really know what this means until you learn the trick, right? It's sort of like a weird in thing. Really, what I would like to see is just an if statement, just a basic if statement that just says if this, then this, otherwise else this. simpler to read, much easier to maintain, a lot less confusing, and a lot less hairy things like, oh, because you have to reason about when it triggers, then you have to reason about what is the return value. Does it affect things, right? Whereas if you just do an if and an else with like concrete return values, it's much. Either way, fuck it. We just so set is editing. This only does that, and somehow this menu appears. I don't know how that works. How does that work? So I click on it, gets selected, but it's not like a hover, and there's no like on select event. It's just a click. We then start editing, and then it shows an editor, but we're not editing yet. We just set is editing. So somewhere it's like set is editing. Toggle class is editing. That doesn't tell me anything. Okay, what spawns this menu? Zoom to selection. Zoom to selection. Oh shit, here we go. Add item. Menu. This menu. This is the menu. Is this the menu? It is. Danger, remove. Set section. This is the wrong menu. This is the wrong menu. Trash can, it has to have the paint icon. It has to have the set color icon. Because that's the node menu. Wasn't there... Actually, there was another menu thing that I was confused about. Because I was like, what exactly is this thing? Node connection drop menu. I don't think that's one. Edge menu is for when you right-click on an edge. Is it this? No. No, this is the to and the from. I don't think this is it. Add item, canvas, danger, lucid trash, edit, no. Lucid, maybe I look for like lucid paint. Brush. Oh, here we go, perfect. Set section, lucid paintbrush. One usage of this? There's only one usage of this. Okay? Use lucid trash. Table to modify? No, it has to be the first menu item in this table somewhere that causes this to appear. The problem is maybe it passes it along to something else that adds more, so it might not list it in like a single list of things. So I don't really know. But it's gotta be something. Formula, show actions. Show actions? Show actions. Has active menu. What is this element? So right now, this element is this node element. Is focused, is editing. Is focused. Wait a minute. Is focused. Node interaction layer. Node interaction layer. Wrong layer. But it is, see, they use the term layer, so I'm not crazy. Canvas menu container, canvas menu. Canvas menu. That's what it is. Canvas menu container. So this just sits in whatever this layer is, which is the canvas wrapper. So view content, it goes view content, canvas wrapper. A direct child of the canvas wrapper, whatever this is, okay? It just has to sit here. So this is the only layer that I need to care about, which is this. I think if there's no like specific way to get this layer, I can just get it by the class, and it becomes a lot easier. Because I just look at the class and I go, this is the canvas wrapper. But just in case, let's see if there is a way to get the canvas wrapper, because maybe that'd be easier. This wrapper EL. Oh shit. Wait. Even easier. Oh my god. It's already there. It's already there. It's already there. Oh, hey, Mod. Hey, what's up? Hey, you want me to play some C-pop? You're watching me? Fuck. Why does she do? She knows what I'm gonna do every single time. She always knows that I'm gonna. She always knows that I'm gonna like play a prank on her. But she knows that all of my weird stuff relies on sound, and she knows to mute me at the right time. She's so good at this. The mod understands me, and it freaks me out. She's so good at this. But we have the answer. It's in the wrapper EL, the wrapper element. So it just has to sit within the wrapper element. Obtained via canvas.wrapper.el. We have everything that we need to make this work. We just have to make it look pretty. And I'm gonna tell you right now, for somebody like me, making something look pretty is the hardest part of the entire process. I don't want to hear another fucking ballad in my entire life. Please give me something new. We need like a different thing, okay? Because like now we're going. The ballads are gonna put me to sleep. Give me a moment. I'm finding a better song. Stupid fucking ballads. Fucking ballads always playing, just make me fall asleep. I don't want to hear a goddamn ballad ever again. God damn it, it's playing the fucking music video. I fucking hate the music video thing. YouTube music, what the fuck? We have the answer. Good. Okay. Find the theming variables first. Now to make it look pretty. How do we make it look pretty? What theming? We can look at the class itself. So if I have this open, I have the actual class itself. We have sorry, I went kind of brain dead there because I don't really know what I'm looking at. Oh, like my mouth was open, agape, wide, and then my brain empty, gone. Oh, where is it? Where is this thing? Menu container. What is this class? So this class defines everything. I can then go look at the style of this. If I go to the style of this thing, and I look at canvas menu container. What variables does it use? CSS tools, light, dark, toggle. No, this is the CSS tool. That's a root. What was it inherit? Background. Oh fuck, that's gonna lag the shit out of me. Var canvas background. Oh shit. We found the variable. Var canvas background. So if I look at the theming documentation, what? It's a plugin. Here we go. This is all I need in my CSS to make it look pretty. I just need to figure out the exact border style. Not to say that I want it to look the exact same, but having it use the exact same things in the way that it should be used is much easier because Obsidian allows you to have custom themes, right? So the main thing is that if this ever is going to be public, which it probably should be, because I'm sure somebody has a use case for this too. Everybody's got like a different theme that they want to use, and some of these themes look kind of sick actually. Because like look at this one. It's green. It's very nice and green. Oh, how about this one? Transparent. Like, whoa. How about this one? Tokyo Night. So you can have your IDE, but in your non-IDE. And this thing even has like a Vim mode. Look. Terminal theme. It even has a Vim mode. So you can pretend like you're in a terminal. It's great. Okay? That's why you use these variables so that your thing can match the theme that everyone else has. So that when somebody uses a theme, it's so they don't yell at you. If you've ever gotten bug reports online, you become afraid of people yelling at you. You become afraid of people saying things like, "Please, why does it look like shit? Please bring it back." Where is the border? There's a border applied to this. I know that there's a border applied to this. Wrong thing. This is the one with the border. Sorry, wrong element. It's gonna reload everything and pull it back. Okay, that's why. Sorry. Background modifier border. What is that? Background primary. What? So it's not even using like the canvas theme. It's using a whole different thing. Border thickness is applied to all UI elements. That's useful. I didn't know about that. Colors, accent color. What was the color? Background modifier border. What? Modifier. Hover elements, active. Oh, no, that's it. And then background primary for the primary background color. For surfaces on top of the primary background. Should it be a surface on top of the primary background? Because there's technically a surface on top of the primary background. No? Because the main thing that is going to suck is that I don't have a way to ensure that these elements don't overlap. Because the thing that I don't really have the ability to do very easily, I don't think, without having to actually track every single one is, see this menu, how it moves, right? Our menu is also going to move on drag, and we can do it via CSS like animation, right? But if it overlaps in the exact same way with the same logic, it's going to cause a problem where it just stacks on top, right? So realistically, what I need to do is make it so that it will somehow avoid this, but I don't really know how. I don't really know how. How is this gonna work? Maybe. may- It's not that bad via JavaScript. The problem that I'm trying to think of, let's say you want to make it avoid that menu. The render order matters, and we have no control over the render order. You'd basically have to look at when that other element is rendered, and then every time it gets re-rendered, or like every time its like position changes, you'd have to like observe it, using a resize observer to be able to know where it is, and then to be able to react to it going somewhere else. And I don't know if this version of Electron has it, and so I don't really want to like put that onto it because I don't even know what the research. But we could do that way as like a JavaScript way, but then I don't really know how painful that would be to just avoid. And then for that problem too, you'd have to do it for every UI element that's there. You have to do it for every single UI element that's there to avoid it, right? To prevent an overlapping menu problem. This includes custom UI elements from other plugins. This might be a problem. Because everything is absolutely positioned in order to be able to provide that like stacking behavior, right? Like that's the reason why even that canvas menu actually builds its own stacking context, and then just absolutely positions the whole thing to be able to do its own translations to it. No official Nyan Cat coins exist. Wait, did they have to put like a warning for Nyan Cat coins? That's fucking funny. Imagine people getting scammed because of Nyan Cat coins. So if I can't do that, or at least if I can't do it easily with the... basically, do I want to consider every single other plugin in existence when I think about the conflicting position problem? Or do I only care about the existing stuff, right? Because if I don't care about everybody else has to care about me, and that's fucked up. Right? We live in a society, but the society hasn't agreed upon a way to do floating UI elements with a way to signal where they are. If there was a system within Obsidian that could be used to be able to spawn arbitrary canvas UI floating elements that allowed them to be able to tell other elements how much space that they take up to prevent the problem of like, layout overlap, it could be a lot easier. But we don't have that kind of technology yet. We have it within game engines since the 1990s, but not here yet. So unfortunately, we can't do anything. So what do we do? So what do we do? Is there a way in CSS that allows us to actually do this? So MDN CSS refer to specific class properties. Class selectors matches elements based on class. How do I get other class properties to use as values? Let's say, I don't know, using CSS. How do I get a property from another class? What you're looking for are CSS variables. That's not what I want. What I want is a selector that allows me to pull the value from something else at runtime. Oh, you know what? No, I mean, you could do it through JS. It's easy to do it in JavaScript because once you get the value computed, it's fine. I think I just have to live with the fact that I'm going to use like a resize observer. Because if you do it via CSS and you use JavaScript to get the value, like the computed value, it's the same as using a resize observer, which is way easier. Because then you get the content or border box or the bounding box even. So you get the actual dimensions. But this is only the dimensions. Is it only dimensions? Oh shit. Box, border box, content box. No, but the dimensions are its position. Like the dimensions are that. But is it possible for you to have the same dimension but it just moves positionally? Yes. Because if I look at the size of the if I look at the content box of this thing, I'm pretty sure it's like gonna be the same thing no matter what. So if I go over here, please stop, please. If I look at this and I go to computed and I go to border box, what's it content size? What's it called? Content box. Just to keep it simple. Oh shit. Box. Box sizing, border box size. Dimension. What's it called again? Width, height. What does this report actually? Wait. What does it report? Like, what's the value of the callback? A reference to when you observe the target, what happens? Callback. Oh, the callback. Callback gets the entries. Resize observer, new dimensions of it. A reference to the resize observer itself will be available within the thing. Content box size, border box size. That's what it's called. Yeah. Content rectangle containing the new size when the callback. This is now a legacy property that's retained in the spec. Fuck. Does this include the position? Wait, maybe easier to just Google. Resize observer for element position. I don't know. Because the problem is that position is based off like your top left and like the bottom right type of deal, right? And I'm pretty sure that's what it does when it's translating. So it does translation, which modifies whatever the top, left, bottom, whatever it is. So like I look at the, oh, it doesn't. Wait, how would you know if it ever moves then? You would have to look at the style and you'd have to look at the translation being moved. And you have to make sure to observe that changing. I don't really know how you would observe that though. How would you observe that? Here, Stack Overflow. Worst case, you go to Stack Overflow. You read what people say, and you either cry or you're happy. I'm saying to have a div position absolutely over the top of another. Why is it so fucking bright? The different type of cover can change size and position based on user interaction. You can match the size using resize observer. Is the page I'm trying to cover changes height? Yeah, the resize observer doesn't fight to move the covering div back in place. Right, because the X and the Y is always 0, 0 because it's absolutely position. No, there isn't an analog move observer. Maybe I stopped carrying that. Okay, well, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it does matter, but it doesn't matter because the only other way is to observe the actual like style of the elements and poll it every couple seconds. That's stupid. So to do overlapping UI elements, how to avoid? You can't. Don't even bother. You can't. Don't even bother. Because realistically, what you would need is... What you would need... What would you need? What would be nice is if the container for all elements that exist within that layer... No. I guess either way, it's a problem that just wouldn't be possible to really solve. Then maybe I should just enhance the menu. Because menus, here we go, wait. Menus, you can add arbitrary elements to menus, I'm pretty sure. So if I look at the menu, menu, it's show at mouse event. Opens a menu where you clicked with the mouse. No, where's the add child? Okay, sorry. Maybe the add child is also like a specific thing that is not there. But like maybe I just augment the menu with an arbitrary child that just happens to have all of this information. So I hijack the menu to add more. Basically, I'm trying to get to a solution that doesn't break anything existing like this menu. Because if you have the preview in its own menu, right? And the idea of the preview being in its own menu is that it's going to be at the bottom of this, right? At the bottom of the node. At some point when you scroll, it's going to overlap with this menu and it's going to look like shit. That's the main problem. And this menu can be modified by any other user of the menu. Like anybody can just add items to it, so it could overflow to have like a whole bunch of things. Maybe it can be even 2 rows. I don't know. When you look at the node itself, it works. But a large enough node that fits off the screen, you run into this problem. You know what I mean? And then, well, not even that. It's like when you scroll off of it, it'll just look weird. It's like which one takes priority, mine or the built-in? You know what? That's the solution. We just set the z index to be lower. We just ignore every problem and we set the z index to be like 12. Right? Because what's on z index 12? What's on z index 12? What's on z index? There's only one reference. Okay, I don't know. I don't want to search through the CSS. 12. There's a 13. There's a 10. There's a 10. I actually don't know what sets the z index of this. What sets the z index of this? What? The z index is just an inline style. So what sets it? And then it uses the inline style to get like a margin from it. No, it has to be even lower, right? Because mine has to be even below the card menu. It has to be like a 10. God, that's gonna be awful though. It's why I hate using z-index. Really what you want to have is like a stacking like set of layers. Like so you do like a div here and like a div there, and each one has its own hierarchy, and then you use the natural DOM hierarchy to do the z-index. So you can easily do siblings of a z-index, because otherwise, let's say something else adds like an 11 but expects to be like a, let's say something else adds a 10 but it expects to be above my 10. It's like what you do, then it implicitly depends on this, when you'd have like an explicit API to like insert it before and after. I don't know. That's why I hate using z-index. That's why I usually just like do hierarchy. It's easier. But I didn't make Obsidian. I can't just tell them to change everything. I don't even know if they're still adding features to Canvas. It's kind of a weird feature that had a specification and just kind of like sat there for a while. And people use it. It's a great feature. It's a great tool. But I think their focus is mainly on the main applications though. Like the note-taking part. The thing that people come to Obsidian for. I may be like one of 2 people who use Canvas. Well, actually, that's not true. How many plugins exist for Canvas? Obsidian plugins. How many plugins exist for Canvas? If I switch... Oh, shit. Oh, shit, there's a lot. Oh, shit. AI is 666. Wait, you actually can't make this up. You actually can't make this up. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, that's pretty good. So what about Canvas? There's only 115? Oh fuck. Maybe I am one of like 10 people that like uses Canvas. Oh shit. I mean, developers is even less. Developers are even less. Brat? Yeah, I mean, there's more people doing CSS than there are people doing Canvas, which is a bad sign. But it's funny because like CSS is a development thing, so in total there's like 200 people, but Canvas only has 115. You know what I mean? Most of these have this caution too, as well as the warning, which says that it's no longer in use. So if you consider all the ones that are actually useful, so if you consider every single one that is actually in use, which you can't do for some reason, then maybe there's like 50. Maybe there's only 20. Holy shit, most of these are not in use. Oh shit. Chat, I might be like one of 10 people that use Canvas, and maybe that's why maybe that's why nothing's being made for it. Because like what? Obsidian change notes. No, Obsidian patch notes. Hey music, are you okay? Yeah, you are, okay, good. Patch notes. Changelog, here we go. Follow Obsidian updates and improvements. Added the URL for iOS and Android. New image lightbox reviewing images full screen. What? See, like it's there's nothing for Canvas. Vim. Added the image image ex command. What? Oh shit. Canvas. That's it. Last one was in May. Rendering performance improvement. Detection for backlinks. They now appear in the backlinks view. What? That's it. Oh no! I may be the only one of 10 people to use Canvas, and they have like an intern on Canvas. I don't know how large the team is. Obsidian, I want you to know your Canvas feature is actually one of the better features out there. Not to say that the rest of your application sucks. I think the rest of your application is really, really good. But like Canvas really unlocked a really solid way of like doing information control. I just can't deal with clicking different buttons to do different things and having to learn new UI to like do things. But when I used Obsidian, it was great. But the Canvas, that's the shit that made me go, yeah, this is how you think of things. Okay, so that's good. Just don't even bother. You don't even bother. Just set it to Z index 10. So it sits below all the other UI elements. So okay, preview is Z index 10, so it gets rendered under every other thing, okay? Has the same logic for positioning as the selection menu, in that it will anchor itself to the bottom of the node. That's very easy. There's like easy and hard things, and that's a very easy thing. You just get the position, you calculate the bottom, and it probably it's already pre-calculated and it's good. Okay, so we can do this within JavaScript. It's very easy. Do it better than the existing menu though, and have it actually keep rendering the preview and translating as it moves. Should be okay. It's gonna be expensive, but it should be okay. If expensive in terms of performance, I think it's okay. Sorry, you can't see this. Okay, I think we're good. We can actually like code things now. So, how are we gonna do this? Look at the titties. What we're gonna do is very simple. We're gonna do, when you right click on any node, and there's gonna be a menu item that says add or like display like preview connections, and it's gonna preview all the edges, but the wording of the canvas is connections. I think that works. Then it's gonna open that little menu on the bottom in the same way. It's gonna open it up, and all the node elements are gonna appear inside there, and you can see what each connection is. So when you hover over it, all the connections will like lead to it. I don't know whether or not I want to draw the lines, because I don't think it's worth it to draw the lines. However, I do need some way to denote where relative to the main node it is. So it's like, you have the node in the center, right, of the whole thing. But how do you know where a connection is? Like, let's say you do this thing, and it has a connection like this to this, and then this, okay? How do you do this? When you show the preview, in that preview, how do I denote that bar is at the bottom, but foo is on top, right? I don't actually know. Maybe the simplest thing is around every single node, I just draw an arrow. And that arrow points to where it is relative to the node itself. Or maybe I don't even bother, because the thing is that it switches your mindset from where is this visually to what exactly am I connected to, which is actually the more important information, because when I look at something like, again, say the Blueprints playboard, the thing that I care the most about is what am I connected to? Like, what are these connections? What is so important about the statue that it has, or like what is so important about this note that it has like 6 connections, right? That's the thing that I care about. Yeah. So the distance, because you could do a number of things. You could even do like a distance calculation to determine its place within the preview, such that items that are further away in the preview at the bottom are further away within the canvas space itself, as if to say, because the thing about the canvas is that it does have a visual. Because the thing about the canvas is that it is a physical representation of information. The physical representation of information also includes distance, because distance is something that only physical things truly have. And also matters of the heart, but I'm not here to help you with your relationship issues. I'm here to help you with making a good UI. So specifically, you have to care about the distance, and being able to visualize that allows you to see, okay, if this distance means that this thing is further away, it's less important to this thing. Maybe you'd use it as an importance marker. I don't know. But it would be handy to have that. The problem is I don't know if I want to sort that, because that's not that hard to sort, actually. Maybe it's fine. That's an easy sort. Okay, so for stuff like this, node elements in a list, okay? The node gives us its element, okay? Node contain a list for all node elements, okay? Nodes are sorted. Node elements are sorted in order of distance to the main node where we're viewing connections for. Okay, so the further away it is visually, the further down the list it is. We could also do a radial menu, which would be fucking insane, but it would just be too much space. I think it would just waste too much space. It must be scrolling. Sorry, it must be a scrolling list. Has a max size it can go to. Okay, node elements are constrained in size to fit within the list, but on hover can show a larger preview. Okay, so it's like you have multiple layers. You can hover over each node element and preview it that way. So you scroll down the list, it's like small previews. You can then hover over them to view it in a larger blowout view, kind of, and you see what it is, and then you can go to it if you think that that's the one that you want. Preview, again, is still basically limited to the view of like the max size of the view, but that's fine. And maybe this larger preview has a higher Z index, so it can render on top of things. Like, e.g., the other UI elements on the canvas. Really, ideally, I would like to just render it there and then position it absolutely instead. But I don't want to. I don't want to find where this parent is. I'm just gonna abuse Z-index in like the worst way possible. This is like I wouldn't recommend abusing Z-index like this. I would recommend having like discrete layers where you put things into, so it's much easier to reason about. Because then if you have a layer for these things, you can sort of it's much easier to do like view sorting. Much easier. And much easier to reason about where they appear and how they affect other views and other layers. Because right now, if you just abuse Z-index, I have no clue what could happen. I don't even know like how it's supposed to like sort really well. I don't know. Fuck it. Anyways, we ignored that problem because I didn't make Obsidian and I didn't make the canvas. This node gives us the element. The elements are constrained in the view. Okay, elements are sorted in order of distance to the main node where viewing connections were. The further away it is visually, the further down the list it is in order to preserve. This is to preserve the physical distance aspect of information and the locality of how important it is to this node. I don't know. The locality of how important this connection is to this node. Does that make sense? Okay. I have to go pee. Sit. Hey, so I didn't look at the time. We spent 2.5 hours doing fuck all. We spent 3 hours. It's actually 5 and 5:30 at my end. Again, I started late today, so that was my bad. But total stream has been 3 hours. It took us 2 hours to at least scope things out and figure things out. I may have to continue this some other day because I gotta get going. We might continue this Monday actually, because Monday is the next accountability circle among other things. And we might as well do it all there in one go. And I might as well say that I failed my goals again. I failed my goals again. Because tomorrow's horror day, okay? And I do need to plan some of the horror games because a lot of them came out. So I need to shuffle some of the list around to make sure that I play the correct horror game in the correct order that I want to play it in. Because some of these horror games seem kind of sick, okay? So that's where I am at the moment. Yeah. I think we're doomed. Bye everyone. Sorry. The programming thing was mostly us scoping things out, but a lot of programming is discovery. Like, especially when you're building a plugin for things, a lot of it is like, okay, how am I going to build this thing? How is it going to fit within the larger picture of what I'm building? And in this case, the larger picture is, what am I building? It's a plugin. How's this plugin going to fit into the larger picture of the system that's already existing? I don't really know. I think we'll figure that out as we go on Monday, and we'll do it before the actual game itself at the instant at Galley House for 2 hours. Because implementation wise, this is going to be like a 2 hour trip, really. And I just can't use the 2 hours today because I do all the stuff during streaming because I have things to do outside. But on Monday we'll do 2 hours of this, and then we'll do 6 hours of the instant at Galley House, basically. Because it's 2 hours. We started at a good normal time, like 11. I'm gonna start at 10 a.m. every day from now on. But we go and we play. And then, because I have to start earlier now because of various things, so I have to announce that too. And then we go until like 5, 6 p.m. my time. It's 5 hours of games and 2 hours of like programming. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's good because I have a part-time thing, so I think that's good. And then we should be able to finish this plugin before we go into the game, and then I can reorganize all of my notes within the game into this thing live. Or we do it again the day after for another 2 hours. But after this, I am gonna program the Nyan Cat thing. I genuinely I feel like I need to get the Nyan Cat thing because the Kitty Image Protocol, we're already there, baby. NeoVim has support for it. I just need to download a terminal emulator that has support for it, and then boom, baby, we have a cool status line with a Nyan Cat. Anyways. Thank you for joining me on this programming thing. Every time I program, my head hurts, and today is no exception. Good thing I got a snack for it though. Usually, programming ends up with me taking a shit for 10 minutes or me passing out because of a lack of energy. But here we are. It's going well. I got one of you put in the feature for titties as well, so I'm glad that you like the titties. If you want more features, again, please use your points for next time. But I think this is good to end up on.